fucking go. Hey there, gorgeous guys. Version 2 here with Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Today's trial day. And by that I mean I'm doing trial former and trial ladder today. Because this case is really long. I would like to point out that for most things that we've done so far in this game, today would be the end of this case. It's going to be the end of the second trial of today. Long case. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've played this. I remember there's like, someone was murdered in 2 different spots at once, and nothing makes any fucking sense. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. Hey, Lana. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. You would have been indisposed if it wasn't for us trying to get you out of prison. I would have indisposed you into prison or something. I don't know what that word means. I don't even know what you're doing for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? This is Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? Plea bargain? What? What? That just means that I'll only go to prison for a little bit instead of a lot of bit because I like fessed up and made life not as annoying for you. It's basically just what it means. We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. Oh, right. I keep forgetting that capital punishment exists in this universe. I keep forgetting that. But Lana, don't tell me you're... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. Sorry, Rawhide Kobayashi. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. Ugh. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Kobayashi? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? She doesn't seem to be a fan of this idea. Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Well, she's letting us go through with it. February 24th, 10 AM. District Court, quarter number 9. Doink doink! Oh, I'm not even ready. What am I doing? Sorry, it's been a hot minute since I've done this. I'm not even ready. Just funky bloody fingerprints. Could be worse traces you could find. Yeah, we found out the dude just came all over the dead body. So not only is he getting capital punishment, but everyone's going to be disgusted with him afterwards. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. I don't know what humph means. You damn zoomers with your humps and stuff these days. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Oh boy, has my voice not been trained for this. Oh, I took like a week off of streaming and my voice is not at all used to doing the shadow voice. Judge does not speak edge. I think you mean the judge doesn't speak bottom. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the bloody eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. Phoenix, I feel like you're used to it. You just gotta say your dick is this big.
Finally, a place to relieve myself.
There we go, we're good.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I'll present evidence relating to the murder of the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. Are you just saying that Edgeworth's better at bullshitting than we are? Because I feel like that is factually untrue. He's just better at acting like it he is. That's supposed to be an admirable trait.
Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department?
Oh, he's on top, alright. How do we break it to Emma that he's gay? Like, how do we go about that? And also the fact that the age difference is like 8 years. How do we break these things to Emma? Because I feel like she's not understanding either of those things at this point.
Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness at the date of the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
Oh god, this voice. Oh god, now I have to do this voice.
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Yeah. We have no idea what the fuck's going on in any capacity, any what ways.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir! I am Officer Meekman, sir! My occupation is, that would be murder, sir! Mike, that's not what that means.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You gotta believe me, sir! I forgot how annoying his fucking megaphone is.
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is...
Sir, I want you to go part of the younger generation, sir! I'm a Zoomer! A person whose action adults can't possibly comprehend!
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir!
Officer Milka, we can get an early lunch now. Damn, finally, it's all over. Lana, go home.
Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir!
Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir! As you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir! You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Yes, but unfortunately, I can fault him for literally everything else. A cop so indoctrinated that he believed he was guilty because he was arrested. A tragedy. That is genuinely what it seems to be. Like, oh, I was arrested by the cops because I did a murder, so obviously I must have done it. That is, like, actually what is going on here. This is fucked up. This is fucked up. Crime report, sir. Oh no, it's not my normal duty. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until an officer smacks me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you.
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Ignore the very Japanese good luck charm he fondles in some of his animations. No, look, just because he has the amulet of the child that you always get in Yakuza doesn't mean that this game takes place in Japan. Look, it's an American game with American people set in America. They're all just massive weebs. Totally explains it. What I need here is more info to work with. Suppress him until he tells more shit. Fuck, I feel like I'm almost out of energy drink. I didn't drink this before going to work because I thought I was going to be getting a blood test after work. Then it was too busy for me to leave work to go get my blood test. So now I'm having it now. And because I'm like running on fumes for caffeine and food in general. I feel like I've gone through this very quickly and I'm already like halfway done and we're barely started. This is going to go well. The American Shinto Amulet of Protection. See? Reasonable explanations. I don't live in America. I wouldn't know about how much every family owns a American Shinto Amulet of Protection. I'm glad I have Americans in the audience to help explain this cultural difference. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir! I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Oh, that's gonna go... Nothing but star recruits for our officers. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. I still feel like this thing's from Danganronpa. I was unsure it wasn't broken during the transformer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. And unfortunately it was, because I can already see it's partly like stuck back together.
I see. Sounds like very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
And we joked, but we joked, but I did go by a place selling sushi burritos and hot dogs. I mean, I shared a photo on Discord the other day of sushi with chicken schnitzel and mustard in it. So, they gave him the bitch job. Look, you're the least likely to fuck things up if you just look at this cardboard move. Don't touch anything else. Don't fuck it up for everyone else. I spotted a suspicious man. Oh, I already read this one. I haven't actually pressed it out, have I? You know, you say sushi burritos and hot dogs. I'm now wondering. Don't get ahead of me on this. Hear me out. What if you had a hot dog, right? Still with like, you have your hot dog, you have the cheese, the tomato, like your ketchup, your mayo, not mayo, mustard. You have all of that on there, right? As like a hot dog. But instead of in a bun, in a sushi roll. Hot dog sushi. And you can go like put caramelized onion on top of the sushi roll as well. I think I've just come up with the greatest food that's ever existed. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir! I have one right here around my neck! I'm sure pork sushi's a real thing somewhere. Yeah, but I'm talking about hot dogs. So there is 0% of pork in those things. I'm talking about like actual just fucking like red sausage Frankfurt hot dog shove in there. I know hot dogs are like a traditionally American food that like, it's always at like your ball games and your fun fairs and stuff like that, right? When you have hot dogs in America, typically are they like red Frankfurt hot dog sausages that are in there? Or are they like actual barbecued / grilled, like proper good quality sausages in there? Because if you go to like a shop, like a place that sells like donuts and hot dogs, or like a milkshake bar that sells hot dogs in Australia, you'll get Frankfurts there. But if we like say our democracy sausage that we do, where like wherever there's voting, there's a sausage sizzle going on. That's always like decent quality sausage that's been barbecued on those. So we get like there's very two different distinct categories that you get them in. But like, is there typically one or the other, or is it just because there's so many hot dogs, it's like they're all over the place there? Depends on how fancy you want it to be. So if you were to go out to the ball game, are they like Frankfurt ones? They're generally red pork sausage packages, though. It's very easy to find beef dogs as well. No. If it's a sausage sizzle, then it's usually beef, right? Like here, if we're doing barbecue ones, they're usually beef sausages. But then like there's the red ones, like the red pork ones, which we call Frankfurts here. I don't even know if that's accurate, but that's like what they're called on the packaging of the show. I do love hot dogs. I do love hot dogs. Though I'm someone where, like, I like my hot dogs fucking loaded, right? I like either chili dogs, or just, you gotta put, like, just destroy that bitch with cheese, ketchup, mustard, or you just go full barbecue flavor and, like, you caramelize onion and barbecue sauce. I do love hot dogs. I do love hot dogs. Total side note, I'm not gonna get into it. I was buying ramen bowls online last night because I want to make my own ramen at home, and I saw a review picture that someone made of their ramen bowl was a bowl of ramen, and the meat inside of it, instead of like chassu or chicken or anything like that, it was grilled slices of Spam. And I found that so funny, just as an image, and I'm just like, oh my god, fuck yeah. Like, get your fucking Spam miso ramen on, baby. 9 times out of 10, if you're getting a hot dog from a corner store or a street cart, it's a pork dog, I believe. Okay. So that's also the thing, we don't have street cart, like, we don't have street carts of hot dogs here. If we have, like, we don't have many street carts where it's just, like, single person standing at a thing, umbrella over their head, like, just one person operating it. Very, very uncommon here. I assume that's food laws, or like, street busking laws. Like, there's, like, the laws on how you're allowed to, like, sell things on the street is very, very specific in Australia. Like, you have to get licenses for it, there's very limited amounts of them and stuff like that, and food things I imagine aren't a part of it. But you get, like, your big fuck off, like, it's just, like, the back of a semi-trailer, food trucks, like, you get those fucking huge ones. And if you want the fanciest hot dogs, it's always out of those. The cheapest one will be like $15, and it will just be, here's a sausage, and then here's like 3 other meats on top of it with like an entire salad. Fuck you. That's your cheap option. Oh, you want this other hot dog? Here, it's an entire chili con carne on top of it. And it's like, fuck yeah, I love that shit. I love those. They're often at, like, festivals or concerts, and they're so good. I fucking love those. Get me chili con carne dog on? I'm basically Sonic the Hedgehog. Which is good, because it means that I get to be the one who slips with Edgeworth. I have one right here around my neck! I gotta stop talking about food and play the video game. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? So which one's yours? All sorts of regional dogs. Oh my god! Fucking... Jesus Christ. Chicago deep dish hot dog. The bun's like that deep. Just flooded with cheese and ketchup and one tiny little sausage put on top. Yeah, fuck you, Chicago. I'm shitting on your pizza that I've never tried. I found it! It's the one right there! Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir! It's 4989596! That's my number, sir! Why does he keep smacking his open wound on his hand? I see. Huh? But the number 4989596, isn't that Hammond? Oh, not Hammond. Hammond was the dude who died in the last one. What's his name? Goodman! Isn't that Goodman's? No, oh, no. That was ending in 8. That was ending in 8. No, they've both got 89 in there. I'm getting confused. Because he's very smart. This is true. This is very true. It's shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time was when I relocated the blue badger to the evidence room, and the second time was when I went to go get him after everything settled down. That was a very short amount of time. Like, 24 minutes. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir! That was when I spotted the man on the security screen! Okay, well, at least we have some fucking info. Still don't know who this All Sevens dude is. Still don't know who the All Sevens is. I'm only doing what I was trained to do. Jesus Christ, he is a cop. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir! A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. I'm not exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. Damn, Phoenix. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him. You're under arrest! Ah, oh, Christ! Fucking ow! Oh, God! Ow! Oh, Jesus Christ, that hurt! Oh, God! Oh, my thumb, like, popped out and then immediately back in. Ow! Jesus Christ, that hurt! Fuck me. My god. I can still game. I'm doing this much movement with it. It'll be fine. While playing character. To be fair, it's probably very similar to what happened to him, flinging his arms around followed by a severe left pain on the left side. But it was caused by sudden contact with a blade. I know, somehow I'm the one who hurt myself by acting like a fuckwit more than him. That is... means I need to reevaluate my entire life. That's how I got this gash on my hands! Damn, I'm surprised that he ever got laid. Maybe you just kept your cool, your hands wouldn't be... Hey, shut up, Emma. Shut up. Bye, Alice. You gotta go get that drip, go get that sick clothing. I totally read it correctly. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar, like an octopus would. Chicago dogs usually have mustard, onions, relish, pickle spear. Pickle spear? Ah, for just stabbing someone with a pickle. Pickled peppers, tomato slice, and celery salt, and a poppy seed bun. I'll admit, that sounds fucking amazing. That sounds fucking amazing, actually. Never mind Chicago, you're good. I really need to try more pickles is also something I've realized. Because I always think, oh no, I don't like pickles. And then I realized that my one experience with pickles that I've only ever had is pickles on a McDonald's burger. And the only reason I don't like it on that is because of the texture clash. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it every time I talk about food. Textures can either, like, make or break food for me. I don't even know what the pickle on a McDonald's burger tastes like. It's just the texture of it is so off compared to the rest of the burger that my mouth just immediately rejects it. So I don't even know what it fucking tastes like. But as a trans woman, I should fucking try a fucking pickle. I mean, I'm also, by the way, I now actually have this. So fuck yeah. Like, get hyped for these in the future. Although I think the thing that makes you crave pickles is specifically the testosterone blockers, because they drop your salt levels. And I'm not on those. Not at this stage. Probably not ever. Considering they've just gone very instantly. But still though. Like, I can't drive. I'm polyamorous, monogamous, whatever poly word that I'm trying to think of that I can't. I own a fucking synth. I just need to like pickles, and then I round out the entire, like, category of what it takes. I fought for my life, and then I did it! Oh, I was meant to actually press that. I keep forgetting that I haven't pressed things, because I'm getting too distracted by literally everything else. This is why I need to... Sorry, I'm just thinking of now. I'm now just thinking of that. This is what happens when I don't stream for a week. I get all these thoughts in my brain, and then the first time that I stream afterwards, I'm just blurting it all out instead of actually focusing on the thing that I'm actually fucking streaming. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into Kung Fu films, sir. I'm a weeb, sir. The man let his guard down for an instant, so I snatched the knife from him. He took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I'll admit, the idea of masculinity being don't grab a knife out of someone's hand without closing your eyes or you're not a real man. That's a new thing for bioessentialism that I've come across. Okay. I see. He must have been desperate. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. Every word out of his mouth makes him sadder. I mean, to be fair, I think this is what I expect. This is exactly what I expected of him. And then you passed out, and then I once knocked you awake. Okay. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. I mean, yeah, fair. Right. According to the report from the officer that woke up a witness, it was about 5:30. Wait, wait, what? That's a long ass time. Being unconscious for that long time is, like, not a good or a healthy thing. Does that explain part of what he's like right now or not? I tried to perform a disarming maneuver like a star in Kung Fu films, and then I got punched the fuck out. I tried to do a he move like my favorite Yakuza man. But then I realized that people actually fight back when you do that shit in real life, and so I just got hit while doing it. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That megaphone is... This game's really good at making sound effects that really fucking hurt my ears. My god.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the blue badges, sir. That's what you still cared the most about? My god. Getting punched in the face probably ain't good for the health either. I mean, I think with this guy, I think it can only be an improvement. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happens. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point. Like, this dude wouldn't know what Goodman looked like. And if someone's trying to set up some fucking incredibly complicated thing, them dressing up like someone else would totally make sense. Blue Badger is safe, that's all that matters. Well, court is adjourned, Blue Badger's safe. There you go, you can all go home. What about the defendants, Your Honor? What about... Oh, don't worry about it.
Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this photograph. It was sent to my JSL. Chief Gann delivered it to me just this morning, sir. All right, let's have a trivia show. Attention all Zoomers who are watching this. Let me ask you a question for the big money prize. What is that? Fucking these things were almost out of date when I was a kid. Fucking DVD players came out not long after, like, I started watching shit when I was a kid. And compared to my audience or my understanding, I'm old as fuck. It's a Betamax, shut up. Shut up. God damn it. God damn it. Be kind, please rewind. We're all way too old to still be here, aren't we? Oh, God. Oh, God. Fucking, let's just pop on, like, an album of fucking Spice Girls and have our fucking, Whiz Fizz Sherbet blasts while we're at it.
The Chief
delivered it.
What is that? A videotape?
Say, this is the only person who understands what it is, because he's old enough for that. The building that used to be Blockbuster in my town's now a chiropractic clinic. Oh. Oh, that's sad. I'm trying to think. I think there's still... I'm gonna check. Because where I used to work, a suburb I used to work in, there was still a video rental shop when I stopped working there. I'm gonna say if it still exists. It was a very weird building. It was a very weird building because it was literally, as the same shop, one half was video rental, and then on the other half, the front end was a cafe and the back end was a Subway. It was a very, very confusing place. But it was a video rental shop, and I mean, like, it had videos and DVDs, but it distinctly had both. And I now have no idea where the fuck it... What was the... Mort's Road, obviously, because it's fucking Mort now. Is it still there? Ah, it's not showing me. Because I'm so curious if it's still around. Because this was a few years ago. Yeah, Buzz Bar. Oh, I think Buzz Bar's taken over the entire thing now. Oh, shit. Damn. Because this was the last video rental shop that I knew of that still existed around here. I'm not going to bring it up on screen or anything like that, but I'm From what I can tell, it doesn't exist anymore. Because the pictures that they've got here, that's all, the cafe area of it has taken over way more of everything else. But it was a weird fucking building. Like, literally just all in the same building. And it wasn't even a blockbuster. It was like an independent franchise. Well, I guess not franchise in that case. That's literally the difference of the word. But yeah, that was like the last video rental shop that I knew of. But they still had videos and DVDs. The thing is, I know there's a couple in like rural towns, which that makes sense. Like there's the rural town, and if their internet is just absolute fucking trash shit tier, and they don't get like any form of video service or anything like that, the people out there, the one way they have of watching new shit is the video rental shop in town that still has like cassettes and DVDs. So those I get, but like that's not the middle of nowhere where that was. That was like in the middle of a populated suburb. That was like 3 or 4 streets over from like a major suburb that had like a giant shopping center and shit. So that's like the last one that I knew of that still existed. What about Pizza Huts? Do any of your classic Pizza Hut buildings that have like the old restaurant Pizza Huts that had like the distinct like roof that was like the really tall green one? Do any of the... I know all the restaurants here have shut down. I don't know about overseas. But I knew of one that hadn't been knocked down. But it was like when unleased for years. I don't know if that still exists. Because that's also another thing from my childhood of just like old buildings that just don't exist anymore. By the way, for the youngins who don't know, Pizza Hut used to have fucking restaurants. Like actual walk-in, sit-down restaurants. And then they went to just pizzas, and now at least in Australia they're going back and they're trying to expand their range to do everything again. Just without the restaurant part. They're like making a big deal about like doing lunches here, and they've got like meat pies and like fries and shit as Pizza Hut for a lunch. Or you can just order like a lasagna to share for lunch, and I'm just like, Pizza Hut, I guess pizza's not doing as well as it used to be. There's still a classic Pizza Hut around. It used to be a hut. And that's literally why it was called Pizza Hut, yeah, because it used to be a hut of a building. 90s, am I right? Am I right, my fellow 90s kids? Jesus Christ. Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. Christ, Makins. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told they'd been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. Didn't you call... You literally said your profession was murderer, Meekins. What the fuck? A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Look, I investigate dead bodies, but I don't want to watch the murder itself happen. That's fucked up. Every word more sad. This may be the... no, not maybe. Definitely is the biggest sad sack in the game so far. And he's a murderer. Probably not. Lots of pizza places doing pastas and sandwiches and stuff. Never thought pizza would be on a decline. That's what I'm shocked by. The idea that pizza places have to branch out because pizza's not doing as well as it used to be. Fuck. It's pizza. It's pizza, for fuck's sakes. How is that going down? By the way, does anyone here have like a special like signature pizza that they make? I make a pretty good chili con carne pizza. And by that I mean I make a normal pizza, but instead of using a tomato sauce as a base, I use chili con carne. And it's really good. And then Ashlyn makes a dessert pizza that's specifically black sesame, and oh, that's fucking great. That shit's good. Oh my god, animated footage in this game. What? An actual FMV? The Blue Badger totally did the murder. Oh my god! Moving 3D models, can you tell this is on the DS? 3D graphics, only on the Nintendo DS. Oh, something fell out when you opened that up. Oh my god, it's beacons! Ah! You attacked me! Ah! Yeah, yeah! Great disarming maneuver there, buddy. Great disarming maneuver there, buddy. Charming music over Meekin's dead body. Where did they go? Where did they go? Did they sneak under the camera? Did they hide behind the blue badger until it turned around and then, like, tucked away? Are they a fucking video game protagonist and saw the vision cone was pointing that way, so they snuck behind the fucking blue badger, waited for the vision cone to point the other way, and then left? What did they do? Also, I gotta say, those 3D models, to, like, represent what the sprite art that we've seen of the characters so far, they're actually good. Those are actually, like, good 3D models. From my understanding, I don't know which games when it starts or anything like that, but I know at the very least, Great Ace Attorney, the Switch ones for Great Ace Attorney, at the very least I know those use 3D models instead of sprites like this game does. I don't know when in the series that transfers from sprites to 3D models. I don't know when that is, but I know at least by Great Ace Attorney it does, but that's pretty fucking far in the franchise. But, like, those looked good. Those looked good for being anime as fuck and looking like the sprites. The fact that they're, like, kind of cel-shaded, or at least as much as we can tell that how cel-shaded they were in the black and white aspect of that. They looked good. They looked good. I love just whenever it pans over to Edgeworth just freaking his fucking dick off. Because it's still just there, sir.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
That was the Blue Badger. Sir, that was the pride of the entire criminal affairs department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir! Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? What a videotape!
Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of, activity. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins?
It was how late is it to change career space? It's just like, my entire life has been built to being a prosecutor, and I'm now realizing at this very moment that fuck this. Yes, with all the other shit that's already happened in the last case, no, this is the moment where he's just like, actually, you know what? Fucking, I'm done. 1 to 4 in the investigation games have sprites. Okay. Okay. So that's just 5, 6. I keep forgetting whether 7 exists. And then the Great Ace games. Great Ace Attorney games. What about the crossover? I think the crossover's far enough into the franchise that it would be after 4, I think. So the crossover probably would have 3D sprites as well. Would have 3D models as well then, I guess. 5, 6, crossover, and Great Ace Attorney. Okay, okay. Look, if they look that good and they're animated well, I'll be fine with it. But it's just like, they put so much character into these sprites that it changing is a bit, you know, I have to be concerned. But also, I've also criticized this game because the line art for the sprites in this game is sometimes shit. So, yeah. It's a 3DS game that get models. Is 4 not a 3DS game? I thought 4 was the 3DS game. Oh. Okay. I don't know what anything is, it turns out. It's almost like I haven't played this series and I keep getting confused on just like the half haphazard information that I hear about what the future of the franchise holds, and I don't actually remember it very well because my memory's bad and I haven't played the games yet. 4's the only DS original Sony game. Okay. Okay, so they put, like, 1 to 3 on that, and also 4. Gave this. Gave this game this, which they probably shouldn't have done. Okay. Mystery Man! Main number 2's Investigations also are also both original DS. Oh, so that's why there's so much stuff on the DS, because Investigations is on there as well. Okay. Aren't both of the investigation games like one after the other, like in terms of release order? Like it's literally one then the other, right? Like they're very like, it's not like I do one and then way down the line I do the other one, right? Because I'm doing them in release order. From memory, Investigations, I wrote down a list, like on my list that I have of all the LPs I want to do. I wrote them down in the order that I'm playing them in, and I don't remember off the top of my head. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there is no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. We saw a thing fall. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Objection, bitches. Probably best to do them one after the other, yeah. Well, I want to do them in... Yakuza 0 is the exception to the rule, but I do things in release order. Release orders 1 to 4, both investigations. Crossover 5, Grace Attorney 1, 6, Grace Attorney 2. Damn, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while between 4 and 5, but that's fine. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I'd be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? Yeah, but knife, and I was scared, and I went, ah!
More to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see? That makes a lot of sense for you specifically, yeah. Still, I'm sure it was him. I'd bet my badge on it. Good. Does that mean that we can make you lose the badge? But you don't know for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having been seen or not seen.
Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Why is everyone looking at me? Because you're on the witness stand. Am I to label your stares as disturbing or... Shut up.
Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir.
You claim the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you were positive it was him.
I will say one thing I appreciate about this case, especially with all the shit that's happened in cases 2, 3, and 4 in this game, it doesn't feel like someone's being a prosecutor and someone's being a defense attorney. It really does just feel like two boyfriends working together to solve this fucking case. Like, it's just the Hardy Boys just trying to get to the bottom of the mystery. I don't even know if they're fucking lawyers at this point. And by we, I mean I am not the best of moods. He's edgy. When is he in the best of moods? The one time he's been in the best of moods is when we saw him up in his fucking office and he gives out the sly little smirk to let you know that the stick that was up his ass, known as his arsehole mentor, is fucking gone. So there is that. Who's calling me? I don't recognize that number. That number can go fuck itself. Fuck you, number. Everyone in chat, tell this number on my phone to go fuck itself. Types it into chat. Everyone, call this number. Let's dox this random person who's calling me. It might be someone from work whose number I haven't had in my phone. I don't fucking know. He opened the locker which crime detective Goodman's fingerprinted too. What if I press that? About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. C4, sir. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person who the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this too. Unquestionably that. How do you know? How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. About whose lockers is who? People in the know? You mean people who are good at their job? The workers in the apartment cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. Oh dear God, dude, please. Please, sir. Don't stop. Don't stop. For the record, it's not me you're into, right? Please, for the love of God. The open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. Why does it not shock me that Officer Mike Meekins has romantic troubles? The only reason it shocks me is the fact that it gets far enough in any capacity whatsoever to be defined as romantic troubles in the first place and not just largely abroad social issues. That's the only part of it that's shocking to me. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. Phrasing. My untitled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Can we, like, watch through the video? I don't know, it's just because I saw a glove fall, like, right at the start. Lack of them counts as trouble, right? Possibly. I'm glad we don't have to listen to the music for this. Okay, no, it wasn't. Okay, I was wondering if it was like on the hand and like fingerprints were put onto the hand. No, it fell out of the locker. So I think this 3D model of Meekins, like that looks good, right? Like I think like that represents what Meekins is pretty well as a 3D model, considering how exaggerated he is as a 2D sprite. Like I still personally prefer sprites, but I'm just someone who's gonna argue over 2D sprites over 3D models in like, if you have a situation where you can do 2D sprites over 3D models, I think you should, like 99.99% of the time. But 3D models can look good. Also, it's my biggest problem with like a lot of modern fighting games. There's very, very few games that are like modern fighting games that use 3D models that I think look better than what the old 2D sprites did. I think it's a big part of the reason why I find Guilty Gear Strive so fun to watch. That is still 3D models, but like I feel like Strive does its 3D models and its animations with its models well enough to replicate what makes 2D sprite art work so well. Okay, so what happens here? Okay, so it just falls out. It just falls out. I don't know how much, like that's clearly important, but I don't know whether it's important to this. Dragon Ball Z Fighters use the same text, Guilty Gear for its models and animation to make them look near 2D. Also, like one of my favorite fighting games to watch. Like, I think that says a lot, right? Like when Strive came out, I was watching it because I didn't really watch X-Hard or anything like that. Just because I didn't know anyone who was like really playing it or anything like that. But Strive came out, it was a big thing, people were hyping it up, so I was like, I watched it, and now like I enjoy watching Strive. Fighting games is like Resident Evil. I love watching them, but I'm terrible at playing them, so I don't play them, right? So I've been watching Strive, and I'm just like, damn, I really enjoy watching Strive. And And I remember specifically thinking, and I think I even made a tweet about it, of just like, I haven't had this much fun watching a modern fighting game since Dragon Ball. Then yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is that, like, it makes them look like 2D model, like, they use 3D models, and they, like, color and shade them and stuff like that to make them look like 2D models, to get the effects that 2D sprites can do. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I want to get KOF 15 when it comes out, and I'm interested in it, and I kind of want to try it, especially, like, it's the first KOF that's come out since playing Terry in Smash, a thing that has definitely revitalized my love of, like, all the time that I had as a kid playing KOF, and then dropping off of it for years, because I only played it when I went up, because I never fucking know, I wasn't the one who owned a Neo Geo, for fuck's sakes. And then, like, seeing Terry and Smash, like, really revitalized, like, a lot of KOF for me. So, I want to get KOF 15 when it comes out. But I gotta admit, I don't like the visuals. I don't. And I don't like them because they're 3D models, and I don't think it looks good. It's the same with Street Fighter. The beta came out like a day or two ago. Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen, is it open beta or is it like, did you have to sign up for it? If it's open beta, I'm tempted to fucking, like, jump in there and just see how it goes. Because I didn't actually catch whether that was open beta or whether you had to do sign-ups for it. Because, like, they're gonna do something for multiverses, but that's, like, sign up for it. So you're not guaranteed to get in, but I have no idea about 15, whether that's an open beta or not. But, like, the same thing. It uses 3D models, and I don't, like, what is the godlike thing that SNK is known for in the past, like back in the 90s and early 2000s and shit, other than music? It's the fucking sprite art. SNK's sprite art is fucking unparalleled. Like, that shit is some of the best shit you'll ever fucking see, right? And then they use 3D models in these, and I just don't think it looks as good, which is just really upsetting. Especially considering KOF 15 has fucking King Ashen Whip in it, which is just, for me, teen gender. Looking good is important for esports, not just be technical good. Gotta get a crowd. Again, I think that's part of why Dragon Ball and Strive are fun for people to watch. And I feel like a part of it is also the 2D-esque appearance that they go for in Fighters and Strive helps sell animations a lot, so things are clearer. Whereas I feel like trying to just look at visually what's going on and pass it when you're not as familiar with it for the 3D things like KOF and Street Fighter is a lot harder. Honestly, like, I love Smash Ultimate. I think Smash Ultimate has that problem. That being said, I think the main issue that Smash Ultimate has is that when characters go flying, they leave behind a smoke trail, and that happens at way too low a percentage. Someone can go flying like barely any amount, and it leaves a smoke trail that's the thickness of the character from the moment they started to the tiny distance they've traveled. But, like, that whole thing appears instantly, and it's very aggressive. So I think Ultimate goes a bit too far with that. So even with that, I think it gets lost. Even though it's smoke trails in Smash are specifically 2D sprites, that they just overlay a shitload on top of each other. I still think it has that issue. Of just, like, making it hard to pass what all the 3D models and shit are doing. Anyway, this video of the 3D models, which is how I got onto this topic, this is going to take like 7 hours for me to do this. I should not come to Ace Attorney when I haven't streamed for a bit. Every time I come away from not streaming for a bit and come back, I'm always at my rambliest. And I should not do that for this. Tape was provided by the police department, so there's no problem with it. I admire your trust in the police department, Mr. Wright. Well, if you ask me, I think there's a problem with what's shown on the tape. I just wanted people to talk more about it, rather than with the actual tape itself. This all sounds true enough. The real thing's so much more intense than in the movies. Here, you can use the blade a lot. Yeah, watch it as much as you like. Security video. Thing is, if I'm going to point out this, what am I pointing out? Oh, the time, obviously. Goodman clearly doesn't die here, and the time is 7:15. Good thing Minix keeps his pocket VHS player handy. Oh, you know, those portable VHS players. The things that were all the rage in 2017. Yeah, no, there is a problem with it. The time of death doesn't make any fucking sense. It's a time of death that's fucked up. I got too distracted by the glove. Yes, there is a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have even been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Thank God. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. I have a proposal. It's to Phoenix. I propose that the defense marries me. Look, okay. Look, when people were saying the Wrightworth stuff before we even met Edgeworth, I didn't get it. And then I did a couple cases, and I still didn't get it. And then Edgeworth said saddled with unnecessary feelings, and I'm rolling with it as hard as possible. And now if you read every, thing that they have where they interact with each other, since that moment, through that lens, it 100% makes sense. So that's what it is. So that's what it is. So I become a police officer. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Because people who become cops don't need to be good at what the theory of who cops are to be good. Why? Why? Fast forward. We can go frame by frame. Thing is, this thing fell out immediately, which is interesting. Am I presenting the time or am I presenting Makins? Again, it's this idea of I have an idea, but I don't know what exactly I should do. I'm gonna point to the time. Is it the time? The thing that's strange about this video, it'd have to be out this. Hold on a second, I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those blurry eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again, hmm? Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Okay. So I can't point to the time. Okay. Can I just point to Meekins being on the fucking floor? I don't know. The fucking... I just realized the flag is so perfectly lined up. The flag is so perfectly lined up. Yeah, so he doesn't have blood on his shoulder until, yeah, he comes around, slashes Meekins immediately, and that's when he gets the blood on his shoulder. Okay. Do I have a picture of, like... Do I have a picture of Goodman in the car? Thing is, I know we had to examine a photo of Goodman in the car before, and I just wanted to see the shoulder there, but... I'm not a fan of the fact that this time we have to listen to this music the entire time. I'm rewinding it! Your impeccable construction skill. They literally are so perfectly just blocking his face the entire time. Like, he moves back and it just follows him, like, come on. I don't think the body that we examined has blood on the shoulder. I don't remember seeing that.
Take that!
I don't know. No. I think I need a hint. Because whatever the game's going for at this point, I clearly don't understand. Like, I can only think of the glove and the time, and it's clearly neither of those, so I don't know. So yeah, I think at this stage I need a hint. Because whatever the game's trying to say, I don't understand. Because we're looking for something that suggests that it's not Goodman. And I don't know what, other than, again, it's on the right side the first time the video pans out before he walks over. That early? What? This music does not help. Oh! Oh, I see it now! Oh! Oh, the locker's open! The locker's open! Oh, the locker's fucking open because the light's on! I did not pick that up at all! That's what the glove is. The glove's shoved in there so it's not closed. That's what it is. Oh, I didn't even fucking notice that. I knew something about that glove was strange, but I didn't think that, oh! Yeah, that was just me completely missing it. Oh, that is a difficult detail to pick up on. It was difficult for me at the very least. Because I'm an idiot. Oh, okay. Okay. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? It being in black, if it was not in black and white, it would have been so much more obvious. So they put it in black and white, so you have to notice that the lighting level is different. Because if the color was different, it would have been much more obvious. Oh, why is the music still playing? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, beep. Oh, annoying sound. This game really loves putting the annoying sounds on me. The light turned on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. Stop playing the music. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. It didn't need to be him at all because the locker was fucking open to begin with. Oh, that was a nice one. That was like several cracks in a row. But like, they felt good instead of bad. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Just see the fucking blue badger just freaking the fuck out. Phoenix turns around the middle of his statement and smacks the went, sorry. Judge, can I borrow your gavel? Sure. Thank you! Shut up, Blue Badger! Fucking... Why'd we will in the Blue Badger to play the music? Jesus Christ. Nope. Still going. Here, notice the light? It is on.
What's this? What's this? It's already lit.
Sorry. Precisely my point, Your Honor. There we go. I'm safe. I'm safe. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah!
Order! What is the meaning of this?
Also, why did he sound like a chicken dying? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
What if that part of it malfunctioned?
Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor? Shit, I was meant to think this far ahead.
Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Fuck, I didn't think this far ahead. Well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, it is! So I was just a step ahead. Every time I get something wrong in this, it's not because I'm stupid, it's because I'm too smart. I'm too big-brained, and I just jump 1 or 2 steps ahead of where the game wants me. It's me being too good that makes me bad at this game, and that's all that it is, and that's all that it is. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this.
No! No! Oh, Jesus Christ. Where are my boys? Fuckers!
Take that!
There we go. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. We're gonna watch this very, very slow model of Goodman walk several times during this. Sorry, Goodman. Again, though, where the fuck did he go afterwards? Where the fuck did he go afterwards?
What's this? What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
I'm gonna stop that bit because it's bad and dumb and stupid. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out of doors when things are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my curtain. We can't be sure that item wasn't completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Oh, I figured you just meant like it got stuck and so the door couldn't close, not that it jammed the sensor. Inserted? Calm down, Judge. Calm down. My god, we're gonna watch this so many fucking times. Yes, we don't need to watch you pan over to that side and watch the Goodman model walk over every single time. Yes, we get it. You're on a DS. Your models are very impressive, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're very impressed. We're all very proud of you. We get it. We get it. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times I get stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie choke. I love how he's just so. Every single time he goes to say something about how terrible he is, he cuts him off. He just always cuts him off with just like, everyone just cuts him off just being like, please get that foot out of your mouth. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. And that's what a rubber glove would do. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene. There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck inside the locker door? Alright, let me scroll through my 20,000 things that I've shoved in my fucking pocket for right now. It's this thing that's from SL9. It's this thing. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Ugh. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! I just realized what's happening in that. He's got his handcuff stuck around his hand, stuck into his tie. How do you even do that? How do you even accidentally do that? What the fuck, dude? Order, order, order. What's more satisfying, knowing exactly what to present and being able to throw it right away when also having an aha moment after staring at the screen for a while. Having an aha moment after staring at the screen for a while without needing a hint. Doing the second one without needing a hint. But also, that was pretty obvious. That was also pretty obvious. Like, you literally see a glove fall out of it. What is it? Oh, it's the glove. Like, that one was pretty obvious. America's finest. I don't know, I feel like people have to be slightly more competent to be able to shoot people's dogs and also shoot black people. I feel like people need to be slightly more competent to be able to do those primary things that the American police force do. And I don't know if someone who gets their tie stuck on both their handcuffs stuck on both their tie and their hand at the same time are good enough for that. Are we to believe the victim, who was the witness stabbed in this evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? What could the glove-shaped object be? Could it be the glove? Who will know? I'll stand here for another 20 fucking minutes looking through all my evidence to work it out. Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Meekins. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well. Begin your testimony. I feel like my Judge and Edgeworth voices are slowly melding into one. Not that slowly, actually. Pretty fucking rapidly. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. That is true. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal.
Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases? Like the ones I happen to be assigned to all the time?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. Because his hair's already spiky.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Yeah, I don't actually have anything for this. I don't think I have anything for this. I'm just gonna press. Unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir, solid as stone, sir. My hand wasn't wrapped in bandages. I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Hey! Hey! Never mind, making fucking rules. Making rules. Really bad at this. Really bad at this. Yeah! Yeah! Victini, hello, Victini. Hello. You'll get to now that you've been explicitly mentioned as being literally the V for victory Pokemon, you get to rest on my arm for the rest of the stream. It's gonna be very hard to use the gavel for this. Can you just where can you sit that you'll be like way more apparent and obvious? I really need something to stand up because if I just do the Victini can just sit there. I need Victini to be able to sit on something so Victini's high enough so you can see Victini. Victini's adorable! There you go. There you go, Victini. There you go. People who watched my Pokemon X playthrough might be confused that Hawlucha's, like I said in that, Hawlucha's my favorite Pokemon. Over time, my love has come back to Victini. I love Victini. Like, Victini was probably, like, one of my favorites when I first played Pokemon Black. Pokemon Black was really good, and I enjoyed it, and Victini was like one of my favorites when I did that, and then Hawlucha came around. But as time goes on, I feel more bond with Victini, being a fire-type Pokemon that has a V aesthetic to it. And also, it's adorable! So adorable! Ah! Sorry. Papa says hi. Hello! My Victini says hi to your puppy dog. Hello. Hi. Hello. Victini can wait there. Can just be peeking in. Peeking on the making. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
Yeah, use the ID card. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir, it's going right next to my cuff, sir. I gave it here so I won't ever forget it. What if someone were to steal it from you, giving it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember what I said 2 out of 3 times I get my tie stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining times my ID card that gets stuck. Oh my god. My fucking god. Instead of the door closing, my ID... Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony.
There's a record of it. I'm just gonna press on everything. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman.
Detective Goodman's on there twice, isn't he?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name's on here.
Yes.
So it is, Your Honor.
That prosecutor again. And maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he can hide the evidence. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Wait, what did I do? Oh, you mean the cop. You're the wrong color, kid.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue the cross-examination.
I mean, he was doing transferal. Edgeworth, did you kill Goodman? Are you going around murdering everyone?
Your Honor, I was exonerated on both previous ones, if you remember.
Did you murder Goodman? Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. Oh my god, we get it. You simp him. I get it. Why don't you go assist him? Oh, right, because he's trying to put your sister away for death.
At
the time of the crime, use these cards. Okay. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. He wouldn't need to attack you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Right, what do you think? I'm confused. What? Problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Gedge have to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. Yeah! Damn, Phoenix, I agree with you. It's so obvious. Who could possibly miss it? Huh. Who could possibly miss something so obvious in this testimony? Who could possibly miss what the issue... Let's check everything quickly. Yeah, who could possibly miss this really obvious problem with this? This one's probably just a symptom of you forgetting what you know because of how long it's been since last stream. I have literally no idea. I have literally no idea what it is. Oh yeah, and they just make their Flintstones reference. Parking lot. Does this have anything to do with it? Does this have anything to do with it? Because this is wrong. Flintstones? Granddad? Does that have anything to do with it? Because it's 5'9" and like his ID is 5'8". Does that have anything to do with it? I literally have no idea. Why would he be writing his ID or ID wrong on a lost item report? Because he doesn't remember it because he doesn't have it on him. He doesn't remember it because he doesn't have it on him. Is that what I'm presenting? Am I presenting it on this? Again, I have very little recollection of what was actually happening at this time. I don't even remember where we got the card from. I don't even remember where we got this from, or why it was given to us, or why it came up. Like, I don't even remember that stuff. And is the lost item his card? The lost item is his card? Okay, good. Okay. I don't even remember where we got these things from, so I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I saw that and I'm just like, okay, it's the wrong thing. Is it for, like, an evidence thing? I was like, no, he's lost. Okay. Okay, we found the card in the garage where the body was and we got the lost item report at the police station. Yeah, I didn't remember that. Goodness. Almost like I shouldn't take a week off streaming or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I had to, but, like, still. I will say the way that Victorine is leaning against me is constantly pushing up my shirt with these giant ears. Victorine, wait there. There we go. Victorine's adorable. After the stream's over, I can show you my Victorine card collection if you care. I'm trying to collect one of every single Victorine Pokemon card that exists. It's, let me say this, expensive. It's actually not that expensive. I have most of the expensive ones at this point. It's just, most of the other ones are going to be roughly 10 each. And there's basically not people who sell all of them, or like even multiple of them, so I'm gonna have to pay shipping on all of them, because basically all of them are from like the States, and I have more important things to spend money on right now. I have no idea where I'm gonna get the Japanese ones though, because I tried looking on eBay for the Japanese exclusive Victini cards, and they're not on eBay. And I'd go to like TCG Player, but I ordered 2 deliveries off of there, and one of them came, and the other one still hasn't arrived yet, which makes me very, very annoyed. Wait one moment, Officer Makins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. I mean, the crime scene's where the body was. What's more important than Victini? This is true. Nothing. Nothing's more important than my little Victini. There is a Victini Kigurumi on Etsy that I really want to buy. It's like a custom made one. But it's like $200+. And I don't know if I can justify that. But it is very adorable. It like gives you the ears and everything. Though the ears that go out really wide. They're not like really tall ears like this. But it does come with the wings. It does come with the little tail wings on the back. Victini is... I love Victini so much.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The one that's like actually the one that our defendant is like accused of. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. But this is such a confusing case. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's almost like Victini doesn't sit very well. Both because it's a plush toy with just like the tiniest little nibby feet and these giant wings on the back that extend beneath where the feet are. So it's hard for it to balance. It's also like it's not designed to sit on a bottle of moisturizer to just rest on someone's chest. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
A lost item report. It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe there's something to his ID card, correct?
I can't say for sure, but there is high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order, order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. Doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Makins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. And his jacket. And his hat. And his scarf. And his life.
Order, order, order! Please shut the fuck up! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Marry me. Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo.
Allow me to summarize the defense's arguments. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime,
He stole his look and his vibe. He stole his mojo. That's a crime punishable by death.
The man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What are you doing?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake.
Which means that your person that you're trying to defend at the actual crime scene that you were looking at is real and she did kill him.
In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
Why are you gonna get idiot boyfriend do your job? Literally spent all of this time just proving, don't worry, my defendant must have committed murder because this other murder wasn't real. So trial day Edgeworth has been begging you to call bullshit on the evidence room crime. This isn't gonna end well. Because, like, this is not the case that we're discussing. This is literally, like, they're meant to be two in the one case, but, like, the police department considers them separate cases. But, like, literally our defendant is accused of murdering Bruce Goodman in the parking garage. All we've done is just sync that more definitely.
Well, well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling.
It's like Phoenix forgot for a second that we're defending Lana Skye and not Officer Meekins.
A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Ah, right! That's what we were doing, wasn't it? Whoops! Oh, right! That's what we were discussing this whole time, wasn't it? Oh, fuck me! The testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Walked right into that one, Nick. Literally got played so easily. Like, Phoenix's whole thing is that, like, going to massive lengths to prove someone's innocence, and all we've done is proven Meekin's innocence, which just further puts, like, Lana into guilt. Hey, Big Tinny, do you wanna slam the gavel? Do you wanna slam the gavel? Are you ready? Are you ready, buddy? You gonna slam that gavel with all of your might? Yeah! Go, Big Tinny! I wanted to do that as hard as I possibly could, and then I remembered I bought this for, like, very, very cheap on eBay, and I didn't want to hit it as hard as I could and just have the top just go flying the fuck off.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered?
Isn't there also, like, a fuck ton of blood there, though? Isn't there, like, a shit ton of blood on the floor and on the lockers, though? I feel like we've gone through this entire thing and proved all of this without discussing that in any capacity. I still think it would make more sense for the murder to take place here, just not at the time we think it takes place. We can charge Meekins for being his attorney.
And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose examined only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object to something. I don't know. Like, literally, wasn't this trial delayed a day to investigate what this second murder was? And all we've done is proven that it's a fake. Like, I think literally the only reason it was delayed was investigate this. Everything else points towards your defendant. But there is this, though. Objection! I don't know what we're objecting, but objection. One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
No, apparently not. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
I mean, you did, but what are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yes. Correct. Correct. Yep. Yes. Oh, I guess the pool of blood on the floor would be Meekin's hand. Never mind. I was about to say, because there's a pool of blood on the floor. It might have been Meekin's hand, because he's lying on the floor with that. That might make more sense. However, it cannot be said that it's unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, a large amount of blood traces were found in the evidence room. Finally, we're bringing this up. The... Random question. No, this... Okay, this doesn't have Meekin's blood on it, so it isn't that. I wasn't gonna remind you of Meekan's getting knocked out. We're just gonna see him on his ass one more time. No, I was wondering if it was Meekan's blood. Like, pulled on the ground. Did this shoe step into Meekan's blood? But no, it's not that. Because it literally tells you the traces of the blood that it has. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Keep looking into it. Because I got nothing else to do.
Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident in the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. What was his thing? I forgot what his deal was. How did his name come up? I've already forgotten. It was literally mentioned at the beginning of this, but I've already forgotten. Where his name came up. Oh, right, it's his fingerprint. Yeah, it's his bloody fingerprints. Right.
Oh, whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Bruce Goodman, take the stand.
Oh, hi there, I am Bruce Goodman. Yes, I am not being puppeted. Hello there.
Mr. Wright, what the fuck?
What? I thought it'd be funny. It's a murder victim, you asshole.
This person whom you would have testified, what is his or her name?
You could just say that. You could just say that. Your Honor, I'd like to call Rawhide Kobayashi to the stand.
Why him?
Can't let Edward know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Not that his bloody fingerprints were found at the crime scene.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Phoenix playing his card close to his chest? Amazing. Not just blurting out everything instantly? I know, right?
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. We'll make sure he says everything to make sure that the defense is sent to prison. Court is now in recess.
Woohoo! Recess, we get to eat. Victini, we get to have lunch. I don't have anything that I can like... I don't have any food on this that I can like pretend to shove into Victini's mouth. Like, nom, 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 nom. I don't have any poppins or pokey blocks or... What is the actual food that's in Gen 5 that you like feed your Pokemon? I can think of Pokeblocks for Gen 3 and Poffins for Gen 4. There's like a specific food thing. What are those cream puff balls? I don't think they're even in black and white. No! No, you can get the ice cream from that giant city because you get this fella in that giant city. Or specifically an ice... You know why Victini is so cool? You know why Victini is so fucking cool? Victini has a bachelor pad. That Victini's the sickest Pokemon because you can visit Victini's fucking bachelor pad when you catch it. And it is so sick. You go into the Liberty Islands. I think it's called Liberty Island. That might be the name of it at Grand Theft Auto 4. But you go into that. Castelia Cones! There we go. Castelia Cones. Yeah, Castelia City. I forgot the name of the city. But yeah, you go to like the fucking Liberty Island. The island where Statue of Liberty is. And you go underneath the statue. And down there, there's just a little basement of Victini and all the little Victini's toys. It's so adorable. And that's where you catch Victini. It's so adorable. I love it. Like, you get all of these other Pokemon and like... Their things is just like, you catch Arceus atop of the spear pillar in the Hall of Origin, like transcending towards space. Or you get Mewtwo in a deep, dark cave behind shrouded in mystery behind a city of just like where only the most dangerous things will fearsome and B and shit like that. Or you get shaman, and shaman's in the field of flowers, where you have to write a note about your hopes and dreams to one of the most important people into your life, and then the flowers will open their way and shaman will be there. And what's Victini doing? Victini's chilling in his fucking pad playing video games and eating candy. Fuck yeah, Victini. I love it so much. I love it so much. Honest to God, if I was I want to play Sword and Shield, but I don't want to Let's Play them at this point because it's just been so far long. And I don't even know if Let's Playing a Pokemon game would be a thing I'd enjoy at this stage anymore. But I am so tempted to play a randomizer of Pokemon Black and White to get that hype moment when this little body appears. Thinking of Pokepass from X and Y before. Okay. Because I'm thinking of something that's it's like a cookie that has cream in it or something like that, and that's a trait in one of them. And it might be an X and Y, because that's the Poking and Me thing. Meaning Poke Jesus, and he's just yo, check out this yo-yo. It's so good. It's so good. Because I don't remember the exact layout of it, but I think it's literally just a basement filled with toys. Victini location. It's so good. It's so fucking good. I love it. Yeah, here it is. It's so good. It's so good. I'll bring it up on screen. It's a very tiny picture that we've got here. It's a very tiny picture, so I'll zoom in on it a little bit. But I believe this is where you catch Victini. And it's just in its little pad. It's just in a basement underneath the statue. But this is where you meet and catch Victini, in the actual event in Black and White. And it's so good. Because it's just I don't know, it's part of what I like about Victini. Victini is a legendary Pokemon, but it doesn't feel like a legendary Pokemon. It just feels like a buddy. Victini has special power, right? Victini's thing is literally it contains unlimited energy in its body, and it transfers victory. Just the sheer concept of victory to those who befriend it and stuff like that. But Victini's not some god-altering thing of the world, or the old ancient ruler of old times and stuff. Victini's not that as a Pokemon. It's just a friend who likes winning with its friends, and it just hangs out in its basement with its bed and its cushions and its cupboards. That's that is a big part of the reason why I fell in love with Victini when I first played Black and White. It's just the whole idea of what Victini is when you meet it and everything like that is just so humble compared to other Pokemon, and I fucking love it. I love it so much. When I first played Black and White, I was Victini's one of my favorites. And then it's just been, and then Holucha came along, and I was no, that's my favorite. But just as time has settled on the instant holy shitness of what Holucha is, as my feelings on that have settled, it's become Victini again. Sorry, I love Victini. Let me continue playing this video game. Hey Lana, you don't seem happy that we just got you more convicted. There is no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. No, I'm playing this by the skin of my fucking teeth. Don't know if that's what the phrase is, but it sounds gross. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. Well, she also keeps saying that she's guilty, so... I don't recall ever asking for his protection. Didn't you literally, agree to us being your defense attorney? I think you, literally agreed to that, or otherwise I wouldn't be allowed to. But I seem to recall you explicitly stating that you agreed to it at some point. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope not interrupting anything, pals. Hey, Chinchilla. I think I'm just gonna stick with that voice for Chinchilla. If I keep trying to do the noir detective voice, it's just gonna turn... Judge and Edgeworth are already too similar. I can't give this dude something that's, bordering on those as well, so I'm just gonna stick with that. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later, see? Bye! Bye, Chinchilla. Wait, Chinchilla, what is it? Hello again. Oh, you sad little puppy dog. Got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And on top of it all, you call me here? I seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be seen. Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh, ha 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 ha! You mean this, right? It's a lot of paperwork. I'm not reading that. Can you give me the TLDR on that, buddy? I'd appreciate it. My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years that I thought it was you who asked me. Should I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files, eh? Oh, we're actually discussing this shit now. Chinchilla, you know this is her trial, right? I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does. He is, one, an idiot. Two, he's been locked out of this quite a lot already. Like, we've already had a lot of specific moments of him pointing out that he has not been allowed to touch much of this at all, and he's been shut out. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't even know that. Also, again, I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy, see? The SL9 incident. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Oh, I have to read that much paper? Oh, what is this, some kind of visual novel or something? God. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case, see? Oh, she was a witness. Miss Sky was a witness? What are the details of it? I forget the details of this. I forget what we know about this case. I remember it being important. I remember it being important. Was this like when... Basically nothing. Was this one of the things that like made Angel not be a detective anymore? I don't know. I don't know, I think my brain's just mixing up a lot of DL6 information right now. I'm just like, no, we went to the evidence room. No. No, that was DL6. I don't really know anything about SN9 at this point other than it was an old case that Goodman was charged of and Jake and Angel also worked on it. Oh, so Goodman and Kobayashi were on it as well. Okay. Okay. The Joe Dark killing solved 2 years ago. Okay. Joe Dark. Okay. Call him Joe Carr at this point. Take it from me, you won't want anything to do with serial murderers. He looks around nervously, hoping no one will pick up that he is indeed one. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there. I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... What the fuck is going on? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna need a refresher. Sorry, my brain didn't exist 2 years ago. The Joe Dark. No, Lana! That's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away! Clearly something important. Fuck, another old case that has a lot of trauma for someone who's close to us? Fuck. Immediately after the other one? Fuck. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere that isn't here. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Peace. Bye. Avoid trauma. Love trauma. Hell yeah. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gann. What's that name? Have we heard that name before? Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Jesus Christ, I have a lot of reading. Gann was the police chief, Zeus. Oh! I forgot what his name was entirely. Yes. Yes, my perfect, on point, totally accurate, goddamn amazing Zeus voice. Yes, that one. Profiles. Profile D's nuts. I don't know what that is. Tries thing. I need a drink. I ran out of this a very long time ago. I'm low on energy. Not that you'd know it from the way I've been acting. Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can slide my chair all the way over to my fridge. I can't. I can't reach my fridge. Damn good shit on Deku. Oh! Goodness. No one fell for my one the other day, though. That being said, no one fell for my other one the other day. I tried to do one the other day and no one fell for it. I brought up Mentos and I said that I didn't know the name of what the lozenges were, but they weren't lozenges. And I was wondering if anyone knew. Because the name of them is Draggies. So the moment that someone said that in chat, I was just going to say, drag these nuts across your face. But no one knew what it... But no one else knows that fucking the technical term for what type of candy a Mentos is called a Draggies. No one else knows that. So it's a really, really, really hard one to do. And no one fell for it, and I was very upset. I don't even know what was in this. It might have been in Yakuza. I don't know. But whatever. I'm gonna get a drink. I have this. Who the hell calls them Draggies? The Mentos company. The company that make Mentos. That's what they're actually called. Hey, I'll look it up. I'll get distracted again. They're literally called Draggies. Here we go. There we go. A Draggie, also known as Confetto, Malbas, or Jordan Almond, is a bite-sized form of confectionery with a hard outer shell. It's often used for another purpose in addition to consumption. But yeah. Like, literally, these things. And Mentos are these as well. Like, if you go to... I don't trust going onto Google on camera, so I'm just going to do this. But if I bring up a packet of Mentos, if it will show it, if I can bring up one that shows it, yeah. If I open this up, that's a bad picture of it. If you ever want to get someone with it, this is the most obscure one you can do. But yeah, it says on the packet, Chewy Draggies Mentos. Yeah. So if you ever want to hit someone with the most obscure fucking D's nuts joke imaginable, just get them to try and just be like, what are the actual name of Mentos? Like, they're not a lozenge. What are they? And then if they say that, Draggies, you can just hit them with the drag these nuts across your face. Ew. Very hard to get someone with that. Because fucking no one knows that they're called Draggies. No one knows that. And if you tell people to Google it to tell you what it is, it's too obvious. That you're trying to hit them with... When they read that, then they'll know what you're trying to hit them with. But yeah. I tried my best to get it done, like, to do that on stream the other day, and I'm just like, no one knows what a fucking Mentos is called a Draggies. No one knows that. Anyway. More courtroom stuff. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. We didn't come back. That's a worry. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge regarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please stop fucking drinking. You're in court. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear like howling winds calling it out. Can this guy be more of a fucking, like, weed, but for cowboys? What is that called? What's the term for a weeb? But instead of wanting to be Japanese, they really want to be a cowboy back on like the frontiers and shit. Westerber? I hate that. I hate that so much. But I guess it works.
To be exact, it's Rawhide Kobayashi, Your Honor.
Howling winds? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Oh! There's an entire bit that Edgeworth howling and them being boyfriends can go down a rabbit hole of a joke that is not a place I'm gonna go to. But you can fill it in for yourself.
Now, Mr. Kobayashi, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct?
According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
Desperado souls as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Talk in normal fucking words, you dumbass. Maybe it's best we get this on with quickly. I feel like the judge is actually only like maybe in his early 40s, but the bullshit he has to deal with in his courtroom is just aging him this fast. We're gonna get to fucking Ace Attorney 3, and both of our characters are gonna, like, both fucking Edgeworth and Phoenix are gonna look like this dude. Just because of the bullshit they've had to deal with.
Please share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. In plain old English.
Oh my god, he actually said it. Can we get someone normal on the witness stand? Honestly, so far, the most normal person that we've had on the witness stand who hasn't tried to talk in some stupid, weird fucking gimmick has been the parrot. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone working. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyhow. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon when at the time it went down. So you're bad at your job is what you're saying. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
Damn, this is the person that has pissed off the judge the most so far. That's impressive.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Don't use the kicker to cut off the judge's beard. He will literally just be an egghead at that point, and we can't have that. I can't take him seriously like that. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
You know, Chinchilla ain't that bad a cop relative to everyone else here. God, I hate that you're right. God, I fucking hate how right you are. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very... He doesn't even know about that. He doesn't even know that that's a fucking thing.
He's not that good with machines. Or with following orders.
Everyone got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? My weaknesses just has to be literally every single aspect of my job description.
This one seems like trouble.
Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Fucking take it away. God. This is the most fed up with someone that the judge has ever been. And he hasn't even given his testimony. Oh, no, he gave the testimony. Go ahead and cross-examine the testimony. Jesus Christ. Weakness, standing guard. What's your job?
Guard standing, sir.
How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? Sorry, Bone Orchid.
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dials in there. I was just a caretaker who interred with the recordings.
You interred them?
Videos are nothing aren't that useful. When time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are erased every 6 hours.
That seems really fucking rapid. Like, that seems ridiculously rapid to erase security camera footage.
Each time I'd erase tape, it felt like I was erasing part of my life.
Alright, okay. Okay, enough of the fucking romanticisms of your fucking job pal. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't gonna do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. That ain't my style to do what I'm told. Damn. That being said, though, if not doing what you're told is what you do about your job, fuck, you may be the best cop out there. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. The desperados I know joined the police force. So, Officer Kobayashi, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove found in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I've been in that crypt in weeks. Just gotta avoid being fired. To be fair, we also have proof that he's lying. You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. Like, it's gears. That's not even that complicated. The sensors on the locker's handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Shangela did say something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? I was getting my drink on. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel steak lunches can beat that prola's vongole sepia pasta. Gonna need a translation from chat on what the fuck that is. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Spaghetti. I don't know if they count as noodles. Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has taught you a lesson. I don't think it has. It's usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want to raise this year? Oh, pardon me. Out of ammo, Officer Kobayashi? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. Calls his car a steel horse. I hate this guy so much. Can I kick him in the balls? Am I allowed to kick him in the balls? Like, I don't want to accuse him of murder, but can I at least kick him in the dick a couple times? I would appreciate this. It would make me feel better personally. Vongole, denoting pasta served with clams and a light sauce of olive, garlic, and sometimes tomatoes. Okay, well at least that part I can tolerate. Squid ink, squid. Okay, I don't like seafood. It's disgusting. Bougie spaghetti. Spaghetti with caviar, and foie gras, and roe, and whatever the fucking shit it is. Paddlefish? I don't think that's expensive. I don't like seafood. Fuck seafood. Seafood is shit and tastes goddamn awful. And it's terrible. I'm sorry, but like, universally, all seafood, except for anchovies, tastes like way too salty and bitter for me to stomach in any capacity. Fuck seafood. I've never tried squid ink anything though. Does squid ink taste like fish? Because if it doesn't, I'd be willing to try it. That being said, I'm not having pasta with clams. I'm not doing that. I've heard of a spaghetti western, but this is ridiculous. That's why he has spaghetti. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. Yawning. Also, it might just be me. Like, I talk about how I haven't had squid ink, so I tried that. I will say my number one reason for not liking most pasta dishes that I've had in my life is the fact that I don't like the sauce in most pasta dishes. If you've got like those creamy or blueberries or any of those cheesy sauces, I almost universally hate them. Like if you want your spag bowl, right? You fucking just plain old like tomato sauce like spaghetti. That I'm fine with. I'm not like a lover of it, but it's like I enjoy it, right? I'll eat it. But like I feel like most pasta that I've had has had either creamy or cheesy sauces in it, and I've never had one that I've liked. I don't know, like the taste of every single like creamy or cheesy sauce that I've had has just been god fucking awful. Unless it's like in a lasagna. But I think that's just like it complements the meat, not that it complements the pasta in the lasagna. But when it's just the pasta and that, it's like, ugh. But there's a particular one, and it's like it's pasta with chicken. It's pasta and chicken, and then there's a white sauce in that, which is just the combination of my most with like things that just ruin foods. Chicken with a white sauce and pasta with a white sauce, and then you just chuck all that together. Like you get a chicken pot pie, and I hate those because the white sauce that's in a chicken pot pie is disgusting, and I hate it. If you give me a chicken pie that's got gravy in it, I'll fucking love that. KFC made those, and they were tasty as shit. Because they just used KFC gravy in it. That was fucking awesome. But the white creamy sauces or cheesy sauces they put into it, it just tastes awful. Most things say it's briny, very salty, and fishy. I would probably fucking hate squid ink. I'd probably hate that. But also the thing that gets me is that like, I was discussing this with a friend about how my taste buds might be broken for fish, because to me, fish is incredibly bitter. And I don't think fish is meant to be bitter. But for me, fish is bittery and salty. Like, extremely, it's those two things and nothing else. Like, when I eat fish. Which is why I like anchovies, because to me, anchovies aren't bitter. They're salty as shit, don't get me wrong. But I like the bitterness that I get from all fish, I don't experience that with the anchovies. Is that like how some people taste soap when they have cilantro? It might be. It honestly might be. Because, like, from my understanding, fish isn't meant to be bitter. But for me, it is. It's bitter and salt together, and it's just, I hate it. And that's what all, like, universally, every fish that I've tried that isn't anchovies is that. With, like, a couple exceptions of, like, when I've been to a teppanyaki bar and they cook, like, salmon and tuna and prawn, it takes away the bittery aspect of it. So it might just be the way that it's cooked, too. But it might be that. I like cilantro, though. I'm not, like, a lover of it, but I do like, I don't taste soap when No, actually, no, there's an exception. The stalks of cilantro, I'm fine with. That I'm fine with, and it tastes fine. The leaf of cilantro, we call it coriander in Australia, but the leaf of cilantro, that tastes soapy to me. But the stalk is fine, and I like the stalk. But the leaf of cilantro, that's soap to me. Yes, that I agree with. The actual leaf of it, because our guinea pigs ate it, and like the smell of the leaves is, yeah, very soapy. Very soapy. I've had all kinds of seafood and never had any taste bitter ever. That's like, because I was discussing this with a friend, because I can't remember what it was, but we were just talking about, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Paulina. I don't know. No, she's vegetarian, so I don't know what's with her. But it might have been, because she might have been talking about other people. But like, because people always just like, you just like seafood, you're just being like fussy and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, I just don't like it. And then when I actually said the bitter aspect to her, she was just like, I think it was Paulina. She was just like, wait, what? Bitter? And I'm just like, yeah. And they were just like, that's not what fish is meant to be. I'm like, wait, what, really? And then discussing with people, yeah, no, fish isn't meant to be bitter. But to me, it's extremely bitter. So that's why I don't like fish. I think it's a combination of the bitter and the salt together. And it's just like, no, that's wrong. So yeah, my taste, like, it, like, for me, it's like actually broken. But I also don't like egg, so... Well, more so, I don't find egg enjoyable as the primary flavor in something. My mum made fried rice and it has like scrambled egg in it, and I like it in that. But egg is like the primary flavor of something is no. That's why I can't have fried egg or like just a plate of scrambled eggs or like an omelet or anything like that. Because just primary egg flavor is too much. Egg sucks, I agree. I'm fine with egg in stuff or as a complementing part of a dish. I can't have egg as like the primary ingredient. Like I can't have an egg dish that is primarily egg. It's just not, it's not even that I like incredibly dislike it. I'm just like, it's not enjoyable. Like it's not one of those things that makes me go, oh, it's like not like a dry heat flavor. It's just like, this is boring and uninteresting and kind of Anyway, I keep getting on my food rants. We discussed what emotes we need. Fuck you. We discussed because now that we have 5 emotes for affiliates on Twitch, we need more emotes. I feel like one of the emotes should just be fire shut the fuck up about food. And people can just spam that if I get on my food rants instead of playing the video game. Omelets and cheesy scrambled eggs are great. Nah. Again, I don't even say that I hate omelet, right? It's just I don't find it interesting as a flavor. Like, eating an omelet isn't a, oh, disgusting thing. It's just like a, I can't bring myself to hate it, but I'd rather eat most other things. I don't know. I have a wide appreciation for a shit ton of food in so many capacities, but I do have my certain aspects where I just universally hate everything of that category, and it's just unfortunate that the two things are fish and egg, which are the things that people will yell at me the most for not liking. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card on my sleeve, so I best get my cool. Before I use it though, I better up the ante. Wait, what? Wait, up the ante? With what? You have the ace up the sleeve, yes, but... I should actually read this, shouldn't I? I'm gonna read this before we get any further, because I actually need to know what this is about. Incident number SL9, closed, perpetrator, Joe Duck, crime, serial murder, sentence, death. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Nye, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Hey! Oh! That might be important. Trial data. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana Sky and Emma Sky. They were both witnesses, and yeah, Edgeworth was a prosecutor. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators. Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Okay. Wait, so Lana counted as an investigator and a witness at the same time? Don't know how allowed that is. Don't know how allowed that is exactly, but okay. Okay. So yeah, Zeus and Sky did that together, and then there was... Goodman was there, and then, yeah, Marshall and Starr were there. Okay. Nothing to know about anything that we're talking right now, but it's nice to know what we're discussing. The thing is, I have the trump up the sleeve, which is this, but Phoenix is talking about upping the ante, and I have no idea what he means by that. I don't know what he means by that either. I don't understand! I have no idea what the game wants from me. I feel like that has happened an awful lot in this case, but the game's just like, do a thing. Randomly. And it's less trying to like connect random bullshit pieces together, and it's just do something, I guess. No, okay. Alright, I need a hint. I need a hint. Because I have no idea what the fuck he's on about. What is upping the ante, you stupid fuck? Just present what you have. Wrong statement, that was just him saying, I'm supposed to do the thing, not I wasn't here. Wait, what? Didn't I do it on this? The timer went down? This? Oh, okay. 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 Okay, so what the fuck did he mean by upping the ante then? I've got my trump card, but I better up the ante first? No, he just pulled out the trump card, like, immediately. What's he on about? No, this fucking case, I swear to God, there's been so many cases, like, there's been so many cases in this where the shit that you have to present or the way the dialogue is written makes it really confusing what the game wants from you. Like, sometimes it's me missing stuff, right? Like, the light on the thing. Like, yeah, I miss that and stuff like that. But the way that they talk about some things and, like, the way you're meant to present things is just, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a leap in logic that doesn't make, like, it doesn't feel like that I'm presenting things in the same way that I was meant to, the way I was for the rest of the game leading up to this. Like, I feel like everything before this, the way, like, what Phoenix would talk about afterwards was, like, trying to hint you in the right direction. Or, like, what you had to connect was, like, two things that would, like, make sense to make a connection. Or to, like, make a conclusion based on how those two things could connect. And I feel like this case has had a lot of incidences. Like, this makes sense, right? Like, presenting the handprints to this statement. This makes sense. This is something that makes sense. You said you're not here. Bullshit, you weren't. Your bloody fingerprints are there. You were clearly fucking there, dude. Like, that makes sense. But Phoenix, immediately before it, his hint is, no, don't do that yet. Up the ante with something else first. Which is just categorically not what you do. Or just like when you're talking to Angel and it's just like, present all of this evidence to her that means nothing. To the point where, like, you present an objection that is, like, so weak and flaccid and means nothing that when Edgeworth objects to you, he doesn't even get a pop-up because it's just, like, with such a lazy level, like, zero effort objection because your point is so fucking stupid that it doesn't even warrant anything more than that, and that's the correct thing to do. I don't know, I feel like the logic for what you're meant to do to progress in this case has been falling apart all over the place. And I don't know whether that's because it's so padded that they have to make up more things that you're meant to do to press things forward. Or even like talking to Gant, where you have to like press, and then press, and then press, and then press. To the point where you're like, you press on one statement so you can object to it on another statement with the exact same thing. And you just can't do it the other way around. Or like, I don't know, I feel like this case has had a lot of these moments. Like, I've not needed hints, barely anything before this. And I've barely gotten things wrong before this case. But in this case, I'm constantly needing hints of what to do to move forward. Or I'm constantly making mistakes. And, like, I don't think I've gotten worse at the game since completing Case 4. Where the leaps that you're having to do are putting together the most two disparate parts to put together something that makes sense that I was still doing correctly. Like, I don't know, it's not even like, it's not even necessarily that the way you're piecing together the pieces is like, you're piecing together pieces that don't make sense or anything like that. It's just the way the game asks you to go about it all is just fucking weird and doesn't feel like the rest of the game. And just feels kind of backwards in a lot of cases, or just like, like, the game trains you to think of, to approach everything with a certain mindset. Literally the thing I've been praising this entire game for, of think about it from a certain mindset. You're trying to be a lawyer, you're trying to bullshit your way through a thing, do things that will buy you time, make people spill up their things, or things that are just like direct contradictions to like knock down someone's defensive wall that they've put up with a lie, right? It's all been that. Whereas I feel like this case has been do the adventure game puzzle of put two things together to form a new thing. And just bash pieces together until you get the right outcome. I feel like we've gone from lawyer mindset to adventure game puzzle mindset in this case, and I'll admit, I'm not enjoying when the game does that. And then again, what you connect here makes perfect sense. It's just that Phoenix's dialogue explicitly tells you, don't do that yet, do something else. And it's just fucking wrong. And it's just wrong. No, don't pull out the trump card, up the ante first. And the very first thing, and the thing that you have to do for it is pull out the thing that Phoenix literally described as a trump card before. Why? Why? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you're dragging me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds. About once a month. Once a month! Once a month compared to 3 times a day, Jesus Christ. Hey, Alexei! How you going? I'm destroying my voice in Ace Attorney. That's what I'm doing. It's all natural my fingerprints will be in there. No, no, no. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, my mouse is on the screen. Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. I'm capturing raw from that. I'm not capturing the monitor. Never mind. I saw my mouse on the middle of the screen. I'm just like, fuck, has it been there the whole time? And I remembered, no, I'm capturing from the Elgato. I'm not capturing from the fucking monitor. 1/30th attendance. Is there barely anyone in the stands? But they seem really loud. Are only the loud people around right now? That would make sense. Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Kobayashi. Stop shaving and drinking. You're fair to fucking testify. Once a month, that is. Oh, that. Well, it's 1 in 90. It's 1 in 90. He's meant to do it 3 times a day. He does it once a day. Like, once a month. That's a 1 in 90. He shows up for his job, like, barely above 1% of the time. Damn. It's almost like he's an insert rich person job who is nothing but a parasite on society and gets a shitload of money for making the lives of everyone else categorically worse. Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on their shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Kobayashi. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Sorry, I read that as I didn't read who it was actually. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. I feel like we've barely discussed the fingerprints. These are cops are close enough. True. True. Good point. I suspect a cop doesn't do their job because they refuse to be a cop. I feel like if you're being a cop and you're refusing to be a cop, but you're still wearing the badge and stuff like that, I feel like that's still not a good thing. It's just a not as bad thing. Like, it's bad cop, not as bad cop. That's that. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them has happened to be in the same place as the bloodstained handprint. Very convenient. Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. Didn't we explicitly determine that the other handprint that was there was like wearing gloves? I think we did determine that. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life won't be fun without any doubt, partner. Witness, we find you valid. We find you valid. You are hereby sentenced to
still be treated like shit by the rest of society. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. That's my chance to prove it. Well, we know that he's not hiding another fist under that beard that he's got because he keeps shaving in the middle of the courtroom. Witness's gender is ruled valid in this courtroom. No, we explicitly turned around before and had a situation where the judge said his or her instead of they. So nah, I unfortunately think that in the court of law that it is found not valid. Which, to be fair, is just accurate to real life. A court of law wouldn't find mine valid because, you know, etc, and stuff like that. Hey, here's a wild thing. You know how people talk about how it's just like, yeah, things are bad for trans people right now, but at least they're getting more rights than they've had before and stuff like that. Did you know that's bullshit? Like, factually fucking bullshit? Like, a bunch of countries until the last couple decades freely allowed self-ID to be changed for gender. Like, you just do it without anything else. You were just allowed to do it, and it was removed. That's it, very much the case in the UK. It was like in the 50s or 60s or 70s or something like that, where up until that point, it was perfectly legal to just change your gender on, like, your ID and, like, birth certificate and everything like that. And it was like, you just could do it, and it was just a thing you could do without having to prove anything else or do anything leading up to it. And they turned around and made the law so it was harder to near impossible. So, no, when people tell you that things are better for trans people now than there's ever been before, and that they're just, at least they're making positive steps forward and stuff like that, remind them that that's categorically unfucking true. And also, since records began this past year has been literally the most dangerous year for trans people because the most amount of trans people have died this year, like being murdered. Like this year, 2021, has been the most dangerous record for that since that, like, has been a statistic that's been tracked. So when people try and tell you that, like, but at least things are improving or things are getting better and stuff like that, and it's just there are just people who allowed against it, remind those people that that's bullshit because it's lies. It's lies. They're lying, or they're telling you someone else's lie. do keep that in mind. A lot of queer stuff was just a thing before people started being assholes. Exactly. It's not a case of, oh well, people have shunned gay people for all eternity, and now it's just finally. No. There was actually a shitload of period in history, both modern and way fucking before it, where it was just perfectly accepted and was fine. People turned around to become assholes about it. Like, no, we're not in the best era ever for queer people. We're not. Categorically, verifiably true. No, we're not. So when people try to make the argument of, well, at least things are improving, so you should feel good about that. No. And when people try and say, well, you're just trying to push it too far, you're asking for too much. No, again, also bullshit for outside the obvious reasons. But also just, it was like that in the past. It was turned around to be shitty and awful and stuff like that. That also applies to, like, a lot of systemic racism stuff like that. Except for it's always been really fucking bad in that case, obviously. But, like, when people try and turn around and say, but it's the best it's been now than ever before. No, in certain categories, no, it is absolutely worse now than it was before. Certain things are definitely being pushed. No, it's absolutely worse now than it was before. Not in 100% every single regard, but in a lot of cases, yes. It's almost like there's a lot of people on this planet who are actively trying to make the place worse for people who are marginalized, and that people should try and fucking do something to try and stop that, and that it can't just be people who are marginalized who try and push back against that because they're marginalized in the first place. They don't have as much power as those who aren't marginalized. And maybe people who aren't marginalized should fucking do something to stand up for those that are, because there are people with power who are rapidly trying to erode all of that. That's because how you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That the locker I used when I was a detective. The
The locker I still use.
Then why is there shit sticking out of it?
All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprints data were never removed from that locker's programming. That seems weird, to be removed as a detective and still have access to it. Because if it was just like general lockers, sure, but like Edgeworth specifically made a point, this is special case shit that's like about murders in the department, highly classified shit. Must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever even knowing it. Okay. It's updated. Okay. That seems awfully convenient, though. What about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker's covered my fingerprints. Just so happens.
Better touch my... Sure about that? The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. Chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
Plus, and fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal.
Alright, serial killings.
One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. Isn't English a stupid language?
I didn't see what homonyms have to do with this. I'm now thinking. I'm now having the consideration. Is this the first game that I have ever played that has used the word homonym? It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Maybe the first time I've seen a game use the word homonym. How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job.
Bullshit.
I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Chinchilla's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. You starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this.
Security tape.
As long as my trail isn't there, you can't see otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Oh! Oh, we really just, like, skipped a whole bunch, didn't we? I really thought that was gonna be, like, the end of it. It's just like, oh, no, we're actually just going to this, and now he's just added this. Oh, okay. What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me into this crime? Isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
That video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. Someone was familiar with the camera's position. They get to leave the room without being caught on tape. I guess that is what the dude did. Who was dressed as Goodman.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us in this evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was president, please do so now.
What could we possibly have? Oh, we can't fast forward it when we're watching it in this. I'm just gonna examine the locker over there. You're gonna love how the camera gets stuck over there way more. Movie night! Graphics. It's on the DS. They got 3D models and shit now. Fuck yeah. Dead body on the floor. Okay, when it zooms back. Aha! Yes, that's when that's put in there. Ha! Ha! The thing that's hanging out of the locker totally appears there then. Fuck yeah. It does appear there then. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wubsy. How fucking rapidly then did he get undressed? To shove that in the locker that fast while just panning on dead bodies. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. This gavel really doesn't have like the boom impact that one does. It's just a little tinky tink. It doesn't have the impact that his does. Makes me very upset. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us the incriminating evidence. Will do. Nah! Ah, fuck you. So mad. It also doesn't have a big courtroom to echo through. This is also true. I think it makes a better sound when it's off the table. Compared to... Ah, no, they're both good. I don't know. What do you think sound... I don't even know how loud it comes from that. Well, each other's like, please be careful. Don't want you to be wrong with them to be wrong, boyfriend. Damn, these bitches gay. Damn, these bitches gay. Good for them. Good for them. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Sorry, Kobayashi. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you had to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video! Okay, you might need to sum it up in a little bit more than that, because that's not enough. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. You do well on the Twitter. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Ta-da! The locker with the white cloth sticking out. That is what the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Whoop, 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 whoop. We can rewind faster than this. We can rewind faster than this. Ta-da! Oh! The white cloth, it's gone. What is the meaning of this, Officer Kobayashi? Megan's still knocked out. Sorry, can we just zoom in on the dead body on the floor of Megan's? I need to see it more. When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened the locker when the camera was turned away. Order, order. Who does it? Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Well, yes, it does. And was just like, oh my god, my witness is a fucking idiot. Well, I guess it's our witness. He just let us put him up there. Murderer need to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Marshall has no idea what he's saying. Everyone else is just like, Kobayashi, you know this is fucking stupid, right? Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Because literally everyone else here understands why you're an idiot. What's the constant fading to black? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh, yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. with how the locker functions. You idiot. A fingerprint sensor? Ah, damn. I have to crush up this cinnamon stick in my hand. We talked about this earlier today. Lockers can only be opened by detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Chinchilla did mention something about this. Not everyone, the looks aren't obvious, not everyone knows. Good old beef, oh, it's beef jerky. I like to imagine he is actually just chewing on a raw cinnamon stick. I like that idea. Because Texas. I mean, yeah, cinnamon sticks, really popular in Texas, so just So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Oh, he couldn't get it to tear off. Damn, that is some chewy jerky. No! I missed what his dialogue was, so I was too busy talking about the beef jerky. Order, order, order. Great damage animation. Witness, explain yourself. This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay! Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? He's realizing the only way he can talk to this motherfucker is to play along with his stupid ass game. That's alright, Officer Kobayashi. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these four. Sorry. Look at this photograph. Oh yeah, theme of graph looking at. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yeah, Officer Makins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? He was the one dressed as Goodman for some fucking reason. It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. There's only one possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Ta-da! Officer Marshall was standing right here. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory. Huh? Huh? Oh, right, Meekins isn't the victim. Sorry. 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 Sorry, I forgot the idea that Goodman's dead. So Goodman's the victim. Sorry, I'm just seeing Meekins so fucking dead on the floor so often that I thought that Meekins was the victim. Sorry. My brain just jumped to Meekins as the victim. So good. Sorry. Meekins always a victim. He's just not the victim. Sorry, I just saw him he's dead on the floor so often that I'm just like, yeah, he's the victim, obviously. I'm like, no, that's, oh my god. Sorry. They just focus on him being dead on the floor so much. That one's on me. That one's my bad. There, but that's Victini, no. You must stand up. This bit must continue for the rest of the video. That's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Kobayashi. It was you, dressed up like Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. Objection, battle, let's go! May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. But I know the evidence room has to show his card, sir. And how did he respond? By screaming through my fucking speaker. Oh, apparently. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must be carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it, but show his face is different. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. So he used a knife instead. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Victini's having a really hard time standing. Like, Victini's just balancing on the back wings of him right now, and it's not really working. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Kobayashi? My hair's all fucking up. I want to get a haircut at some point. I'm realizing more and more as time goes on, I don't like my hair being this long. I like it like either chin length or shoulder length. It's too long, and it's too annoying. Meekins might be my favorite character, in this case his expressions is so goofy. He doesn't feel like he's from Phoenix Wright. That's my biggest thing with Meekins. Every other character feels like they're from this game. Meekins feels like he's from somewhere else. That's probably why he stands out so much. Like, his animations and stuff just feel like he doesn't feel like the rest of the cast. Where, like, this dude feels like a ridiculous dude from this, because we've seen, like, people dressed up as samurais and shit, right? But, like, the body proportions on Meekins are just, like, not at all what anyone else's. You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence. Still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, I do now because you brought it up twice. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Kobayashi dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ah! This can't be happening. It's obvious he's the one. What can I do? Edgeworth, you think of something.
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone just told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
Dude's giving us defense attorney advice. Dude's giving us advice that Mia would say to us. What the fuck? And Mr. I provide evidence that my beard is actually quite nice, please. That's all I have in my life. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Literally! Try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in a disguise.
Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Kobayashi to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might have been discovered later as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's arguments.
Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just exactly what is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence that this video is my only shot. I mean, I'd assume it's the outfit, right? I assume it's the jacket that he put in there because it now had blood on it. So he couldn't exactly walk out with it on.
Very well, let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker.
Stop! For fuck's sakes. Like, I'm assuming that's what it is. Yeah, he's not there at that stage. I assume it's because of this. If it's anything else, I don't know what it is. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. Yeah. However, something unexpected happens. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. I mean, like, I assume he went in there to find something about SL9. Because that's, like, the shit that was, like, there and stuff. I assume that's why he went in there for. And though he didn't realize that he'd even be able to get into Goodman's locker, and it just so by chance happened to have a glove in there, stuck in there. Pulled a knife. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. He's kind of admitting it at this point. Now then, Officer Kobayashi. Also, the judge is being way more lax with calling order. He's letting people shout and stuff without calling order. And I don't get to bang my gavel this much. Are you ready to tell us the truth? I knocked the gavel over. No. I have too many props for this series. I've got all my voices going on. I've got a Victini leaning on a fucking moisturizer bottle against my chest. I've got a gavel that I gotta bang on a thing. I have too many props for this series. I am making my Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Let's Play too gimmicky. Damn. It's probably gonna make it more enjoyable for people to watch, but damn. Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. Oh fuck, we're talking about SL9. If only you were half as persistent then as you are today. We all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Kobayashi, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. Seems the time has come, and so have I. I'll laugh last because you came to die. The damage done. The pain subsides. And I can see the fear clear when I look in your eyes. This is how serious franchise fire. How dare you have props and gimmicks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have to turn Phoenix Wright into something extra with all the stupid bullshit that I'm holding. Sorry. Very serious playthrough. Very serious playthrough that I'm doing on this here very serious video game. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I sold the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Managed to escape. I knew which areas would be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to gut his own hands. My guess is he's the donor. There's way too much blood for such a small donation. If a murder did happen then when the fuck did it happen? Knocked out with a knife because we're Yakuza now. I did a heat move on that motherfucker. And he didn't die because heat moves never kill people. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? That's a line incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not have I anything to do with it. That incident's not over. What'd you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Kobayashi wasn't in charge of that investigation. It was good. Why does he care so much about it? Because one of his family members died in it. That day was my last chance. That's why I blame. I got the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I saw that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. Oh, good. Nice to know that evidence that I brought up like 2 hours ago was actually legitimate and wasn't me bullshitting. I was bullshitting, but at least it's nice to know that I didn't need to. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot. Ah, yes, you returned it to his dead fucking corpse. Nice work. ID card I found was left there by Officer Kobayashi. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean by that, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Marshall. So Goodman came down to do transferal and didn't take everything?
Yeah.
You pulled the knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his race this year. Did Edgeworth get so much influence? Why is this the dude who's in control of how much money people earn? He's not even chief prosecutor, what the fuck? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I gotta say, this energy drink that I polished off earlier this stream has not kicked in and I'm very annoyed by it. I didn't have it at my regularly scheduled time, so then my body is rejecting the caffeine that's in me and I'm so just like tired because I didn't have one in the morning. Ah, whatever. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. My god, sorry. So you hooked up for some Meekins out and also, as we learned in previous ones, me doing the voices definitely makes me yawn more. You were curious with me caught on camera, yes. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tapes are erased every 6 hours. All I got on a plane, no footage would have been left. So that's what I mean. They say if no incident shows up, it's erased every 6 hours. Motherfucker can walk in and out, and they'll just say, "Oh, yeah, no, people walked in, grabbed stuff, and walked out. No incident," and erase it 6 hours later. This seems extremely callous. However, you bloodied your coat and struggled with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, it would have been up.
Yeah, I may.
Sorry. Open my locker and stash it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? Been down on the floor. What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, wasn't any murder in the evidence room apart from that. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Oh, so Goodman did come in and take it. He just left behind a single glove. For a reason.
What about the vase that we pasted together?
Sorry. What about the vase that we pasted together? Wasn't that SL9 as well? Or was that just some random fucking vase? What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Or Goodman took it for transferal. Officer Kobayashi, may I ask you one thing? Far away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
No, I don't think you are. You're like literally on the witness stand. I literally don't think you have that right. Why did you do this? No, don't present anything. Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Yeah, even if you're not done with murder or being murdered, you're like fucked.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Well, that salary cuts are ever a balanced solution. There we go. Phoenix standing up for putting people in poverty is a bad way to punish people. Fuck yeah, Phoenix. I appreciate you, Nick.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Oh my god, stop yawning.
I just can't forget the SL9 incident. You know why.
Phoenix feels that way because he also lives in poverty. True. We don't get paid and we live in our office. What does he eat? What food can Phoenix Wright afford? Can he afford to wash his suit? He runs around in his investigations in the suit. Does it get washed? And he doesn't have one framed in his office like that he has another one. Burgers, obviously. Alright. Mia's law books. That's why some of them are missing. It's the only sustenance he has to eat. Case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't tend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think is his real reason is. I mean, we know what the reason is. Fortunately, we were given this. Officer Kobayashi, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
You told us to say why. I have the SL9 incident file right here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here, which is weird considering your name's Kobayashi, but I guess they're similar enough.
Yeah.
In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago.
Stop yawning, you
Stupid fucking moron. Whoa. That's the other... I thought there was 2 cowboy dudes.
He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor? Must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gann, the Deputy Chief of Police. Yeah, 2 cowboys. 2 motherfucking cowboys. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Jesus Christ, Joe Dark. Yeah, dude looks like a fucking murderer, I'll say that.
Joe Dark. My brother Fort Darkin was killed.
That was the first time Doc left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what's in the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. So he believes that someone else killed his brother.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened.
Oh, right, after a case is solved, the statute of limitations isn't 15 years. Right, I forgot about this.
Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place in the police department that day.
This has been cleared up. The same thing that we said before has been cleared up. There's still no murder there. Your person still murdered Goodman. Right. Once again, Phoenix Wright has forgotten what we're here to do. He has forgotten this twice in a row now.
The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
But wait! The verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But...
There is only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. Yeah, that remained a mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner. Once again, Phoenix Wright has forgotten what he's here to do.
All the mysteries of the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it.
Except for the amount of blood, though.
Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable.
It's extremely contestable. Her initial testimony was literally nothing but 100% fabrication. But sure.
If you have a response, make it a single word or less.
Objection? Arg! Sure, Phoenix. That's just as good. Sure, buddy.
I rest my case.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion.
There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
Right, that's what I was doing. For the second time in a row. There's no doubt that what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Hold it! Emma? Emma's run back in! Your Honor, wait! And now she's on the witness stand. Emma! The defense has an objection! A scientific objection! Right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Damn, Edgeworth, you're being nice. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Chinchilla's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. Why haven't we signed this before? So did you find something? No! Is that your point? Or like, huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Did you have a point to this? If you want to like make a point to protect your sister, at least say it with like somewhat. Why did you come running back then? To say, to scream, hold it, burst open the door, say, I object, to just say, I found nothing! Surely you have a point. Do you have a point? Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. I feel like... Would you come running back so desperately to interrupt everything to say that you found nothing? That doesn't... What? And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. Please, Phoenix, bullshit your way out of this again. I need you on this. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Well, everyone's science is over. Pack it up. Sorry, Emma. All Emma has done is prove that science isn't real. And we're kind of gonna leave. Bye. Me? Oh boy. Okay. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. To be fair, we've really forgotten the glove tamper until she brought it back up. But she found nothing on it. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? Science isn't real, back to ghosts. It is funny how we literally went for the polar opposite of magical teenagers. Magic, and magic science. Or magic ghosts and magic science. It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. It appears this teenager is troubled by it. I don't know what our point is. Other than, how did that blood get there? How did the blood get on the other one either? How did the blood end up on Kobayashi's? The only blood that we know of in the evidence room is fucking Mika's. So who's the rest of the blood then? Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Your Honor, I don't know this girl unless she says something valuable, in which case I'd like to take credit for it. If I've ever need to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Chinchilla's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object! Because that's our point. It clearly shows a contradiction. I'll work out what contradiction it is after we say it. Oh, my back. Ugh. Only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. When would I do that, Your Honor? When would I do that? Very well, Mr. Wright. All this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? Do we have our own picture of the floor plans? I guess I'm just gonna present this. When you came back? As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with a buckshot. That is, as long as he's facing the general direction. It seems Mr. Wright not sure which direction to face. Just
calm down, Mr. Wright. Try and remember what the evidence room was like on the day of the crime. They literally said when you draw something on there, it'll completely change the meaning of it. And like... the other bloody handprint? I don't know. The other one? No, okay. So what am I actually entering? Something missing on the floor plans. The thing that's blocking that? So looking at the badge. This is one you may have recently forgotten that I'm somehow a licensed professional in this industry. Shut up. I have no idea what the fuck the game wants from me here. The two things that, like, they're talking about you draw something on the floor plans and it will completely change the meaning of the handprint. And I've shown the two things that have to do with the floor plans and it doesn't mean anything. I was saying that before you looked at the badge. Wow. 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 On the video, what's that's on the floor plan? Do we have, is that a piece of evidence? Oh, that's a piece of evidence. Oh, I didn't realize we had this as a piece of evidence. I didn't realize that we had the blue badger as a piece of evidence. Oh, okay. Okay. Also, it's really weird that they're showing two people just swapping between being on the witness stand. It's really weird that they're just flicking between the two of them. Like, shouldn't they show Emma, like, with us? What about that piece of plywood? Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Victini, running away. Better than Blue Badger. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not there. So? So watch what happens when you put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Right in front of the locker with the bloody handprints on it. Well, what? That's right. As long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. I mean, you could lean around it, but it very much implies that it was accidentally placed on there, or the locker was opened, which, no, the things in front of it, no. What? So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means that the bloody handprint was on there long before the supposed murder happened. Like the fake murder. It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, there she is. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor. Not as far-fetched as some shit we've said. But it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice! But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood... Your Honor, you let me cross-examine a parrot. What the fuck you on about? This is Boulder Dash. See, they say trivial amounts of blood. Do you see how much fucking blood landed on the jacket by like one little tap? Might sound far-fetched, but it's actually a Doduo. I was looking at plushies of Surfetched online yesterday, and like if I want to buy a Surfetched plushie to add to the collection back there, the cheapest is like gonna cost me over 100, which is sad. Most of the plushies that I want to add to that collection are gonna cost me quite a bit. I want to get a Porygon Z, an Absol, a Shuckle, and a Substitute doll, and like the cheapest out of those is Shuckle, because it's gonna cost me like 60 or 70. They sell just the leak, I think. No, it has to be Surfetched with the Sword and Shield on there. That thing's cool. I haven't even played Sword and Shield, but you know, that thing's cool. I should play that. Now that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Polar are out, I should play that. Probably not stream it though. I don't know if I even want to stream like Pokemon games at this point. Not mainline ones at least. I don't know, they're like interesting enough for what my commentary is to justify like a playthrough of like an LP of like a normal Pokemon game. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. He totally was murdered here earlier. Dun, dun, dun. How do I make Victini dab? Dab! To the dog! Yeah, Victini's dabbing. Just go through a root grinding trainers while talking about food. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in this security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. Objection battle, let's go! So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being caught by Jake Marshall, he was posing as Detective Goodman. Another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. So one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? The only thing I can think of is this. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record. Oh no, Goodman didn't enter earlier. No, it was Meekins who entered twice and someone else who entered earlier. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's just see. Let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Oh, Edgeworth. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah! Sharona! Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I'm getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood was wiped away, from the first crime was wiped away, by the real murderer. It would have been just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood.
Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. I mean, to also move the body out and clean the blood, yes. There's no convenient oil barrels full of water to tip over in the fucking evidence room. No, there is a vase. Maybe the vase is full of water, but we're getting sidetracked. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Random question, when does the time of death autopsy report say things were? Within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. That means either direction, possibly? It's impossible, even if you're me. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. A fuck ton of 7s. Specifically 7 of them. Wait, if Goodman was murdered in there earlier, how did Goodman get in there then? He's lost his card. How did Goodman get in there to be murdered if he was murdered in there earlier? Unless whoever this 777 motherfucker is brought Goodman in with him. Autopsy reports are hardly carbon dating. I know this. I know this. My thing is more so it says within half an hour of 4 p.m. Does that mean beforehand too? Could have been as early as 2:30? Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. He entered with someone, and then that person surprise murdered them. Can't swipe opens the door, but anyone can go in and out while the door's open. It also just means that Goodman entered with the murderer, and didn't realize that that person was planning on murdering them. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7 7s. I wanted to say 777 because of fucking what into the Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. I think I said the environment says. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. I don't know. I think 7777. I think I said it right, but I may have added 1 extra as well. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777s belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Oh, fuck. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Objection! But that's ridiculous! Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor office operates. He also hates the prosecutors the way that Angel does. Oh. I take pride in my work, Officer Kobayashi. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes. No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And now she's up here. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana. I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
I think these people who are talking about the evils of prosecutors may be onto something here.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
It's weird that they're switching between like two people on the witness stand. Like it just looks weird when they do it.
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if it involved forging evidence. Yeah, they lied. This will be great for Edgeworth's mental health. He might get 2 therapy appointments this week. Is the idea that Edgeworth has never actually forged evidence and that this is a shock for him?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
No. No! Holy shit! That is way louder than usual! That is way louder than usual! That is way louder than usual! That is the entire courtroom just going, you motherfuckers just falsify evidence in court to put people away? What the fuck is wrong with you? That is the entire, just like, the entire audience, I guess. Just losing their fucking minds. I mean, so did Edgeworth. Yeah, the idea is that, like, Edgeworth's never actually falsified things. To be fair, it seems like Edgeworth wasn't expecting this at all. He expected her to answer Marshall right away and got upset when she hesitated, yeah. Edgeworth doesn't forge evidence, but he has used falsified evidence. Unknowingly, it seems. It seems like Edgeworth has used falsified evidence unknowingly. It seems like he has used that unknowingly. Which, yeah, with everything else he's going through, that would be fucking terrifying. And the thing is, like, if I think, like, because we heard about Edgeworth before saying falsified evidence, like, that's the, like, he'll do anything to get a sentence, possibly even forging evidence and stuff like that. That's what we've always heard about Edgeworth. And his personality definitely leaned into, yeah, you could believe him doing it. But, like, the one time that Phoenix ever thought that he falsified evidence was an updated autopsy report for Mia. Which turned out to be accurate because it explained an important part of that case, which was real. And there's nothing that we've come across that Edgeworth that has presented in later cases where we went up against him that actually implied that something that he was presenting was, like, false. Like, there's never been a moment where we've had to deny some false evidence of his. Getting his witnesses to dance around stuff, absolutely. He has absolutely gotten his witnesses to dance around topics and stuff like that. Nothing on the level of Manfred retrained the parrot von Karma. No. Like, he definitely, like, he gets his witnesses to, like, not say everything, or to say things in a way that helps get a prosecution and stuff like that. But there's nothing that we actually came up against him in any court case that was like, oh, this is a lie. This is actually false. Nothing we came across was actually that. So it seems like that Edgeworth has never actually been that person. He's just someone who is very fiercely determined to get prosecutions and to get guilty verdicts. He's just an extremely determined person at that. But he doesn't, but like, with, like, again, he has that reputation, and he definitely, like, the way he acted kind of leaned into it. But nothing that we personally went against him in, like, 2 different cases against him, ever suggests that he actually had falsified evidence. And, it was at the most getting witnesses to not say everything. Like, at most, that's what it is. So, yeah, for him to, like, get to this point, oh, my mentor not only, like, taught me some fucked up shit, but also was the person who killed my father. And then, like, did everything he could to make me shit on his legacy. And then tried to get me put away for murder. Oh, also, my chief prosecutor, my literal boss, made me use falsified evidence in court without me realizing it. He acts like he wasn't bothered by the rumors and accusations until it just came out now that they might have some merit. And now he's upset that he's like, fuck, is this actually true? Have you actually put this shit on me? And now he seems fucking pissed. Fuck. No one can get a goddamn break here, it seems. Even with all of the bullshit that Edgeworth went through last time, it seems like he still can't get a break. Murder was taking place in his car, with his knife, by his boss. Boss reveals, oh yeah, no, I made you, like, lie in court. I made you lie in court. I had to. Without telling you that's what we were doing and stuff like that. Like, Emma's going through some shit, but he's still going through some shit. His basically been almost as bad as Edgeworth's mental health as the last, and he's not even on trial here. I mean, he literally crawled up into the fetal position last time. I don't know if it gets much worse than that. I don't know how much worse it gets than on the floor fetal position crying. Although I think that was more the earthquake itself rather than anything about the actual case and anything like that. But anyway, tensions are escalating rapidly. I don't know if the next stream for this is gonna be the last. I don't know why Lana felt the need to answer that question, though. She could absolutely plead the fifth. I mean, to be fair, she is also pleading guilty to a murder. So I think at this point, she's just like, I'm done. Fuck it. I'm admitting to everything. She's literally admitting to a murder, so. There is also that. Because the way we've done it, we've always done 2 segments for everything. That's the way we've done everything so far. With how that's gonna work for this, it would seem as if next time we'll do investigation and, like, trial former. And then not trial ladder afterwards. So depending on how long that trial ladder is next time. Because if that trial ladder is, in of itself, 2 to 3 hours, yeah, I'll make that the final stream. I mean, it's the literal end of the game. So I feel like it's going to be long just for trial ladder on its own for the next time around. I mean, like, yeah, definitely 2 more streams. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 2 more, like, we do the next 2 sections there, and then that final section is just going to be probably long as fuck. So, yeah, we'll do investigation and the first part of the, we'll do trial former next time. We'll do that. So that is, yeah, this is longer than anything else. This is going to be a 5-stream case compared to a 3-stream case for most of the others. And I'd also like to point out most of the streams for this, I think all of them so far have been close to or above 4 hours. Where most of the others it was 3 to 3.5. This is a really long case. It's almost like it has a lot of... It feels like it has a lot of padding. I almost feel like the entirety of the first investigation and the first trial could have been condensed into this one. I really do. They beefed up this case for some reason. Well, it's just, there's so many times where you're investigating stuff, kind of going in circles. You're doing it like you're talking to people, and you're kind of going in circles, or just, like, making the same points over and over again, and it really feels artificially padded. Like, when you make your point in doing a trial for other people, you don't have to, like, dance around the topic, or hammer home the same point over and over again anywhere near as much as you do in this case. Rising Ash is one of the most bloated cases in the series, to put it charitably. Other people put it far less charitably. This case is very divisive. I mean, I will say it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. Like, the first stream for this, I straight up didn't like. The first investigation and trial former in this, I don't like it. I don't think it's good. Like, the first investigation sucks, and the trial with, like, cross-examination of Angel, that's bad. That stuff's bad. There's a couple of good moments in it, like the whole Edgeworth thing. I've been known to be a stuck-up jerk and stuff like that. There's some good moments in it, but overall, I think that shit is, like, bad. where the last investigation in this trial, they are definitely picking up. Emma's becoming a better character. Because, like, before it was just, I'm dragging you along against your will to help my sister, who doesn't want your help. I'm also going to be a total dick to you. I'm going to talk about science all the time and be an idiot while doing so. And I'm just going to fanboy all over, like, your rival the entire time. I was just like, well, why the fuck do I even want you here? She is getting better now. She's getting character depth. She's getting character growth. She's actually being scientific. She's actually being helpful in her own way by doing her science stuff. Like that is good. She is getting better. It is funny to have an entire trial that's about investigating a murder that isn't the fucking case, and that being Edgeworth's trap. That's cool, and like, we're getting to the bottom of by far the most complex mystery in the game so far, which it's the final case. That makes sense. It's definitely getting better. It's definitely getting better, but like, even at this point, this still isn't as good as like, this still isn't as good as after like the second trial and Turnabout Goodbyes. This still isn't as good as that. Like, it's I would say it's still beneath like the fucking Steel Samurai. Like, if we think about where we were after the second trial for Steel Samurai and where we are now, in terms, like, after this second trial for this case, if we talk about how I'm feeling about the case, I think I'm still feeling more negative towards this case than I did for Steel Samurai. I mean, I enjoyed the Steel Samurai case. Like, it's weaker than what comes before and after it because they're so dramatic with their story stakes and everything like that because of Edgeworth and Mia and Maya and everything like that. And like you taking on fucking Red White or taking on Von Karma, like that shit's awesome. Whereas like Dee Vasquez is more so just a kind of a tragic thing. And she doesn't feel as intimidating to take on as the others. She's still intimidating, right? But she doesn't feel as intimidating. But yeah, it's just like, it's padded. It's the longest it's been so far. And like in terms of quality of what we're actually doing, it's like less than everything we've done before this. So it's like, it's getting better, but it's still like, it's still not as good as anything that came before it, which is like disappointing for the final case of the game. In the last case, you used 2 pages of evidence by the last day of trial. In this case, you're on 3 pages after 2 days. Yes, you also have an absolute... You have so much more shit in your pocket in this than in the other ones. Your pockets are fucking stuffed to the brim. It is ridiculous. It is getting better. It is getting better. If it continues getting better at this point, I will get to the end of the case and I will enjoy the conclusion of the case, right? If it keeps improving at this pace, I will get to the end and I'm just like, I enjoyed how this resolved, I enjoyed the build-up and everything like that. If it keeps improving at the rate that it's currently improving, right? But my end thought will still be I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as all the others. Plus, it was way longer than the others with less enjoyable moments and more moments that I actively didn't enjoy. Honestly, it's such a grind in this case, but in my opinion, they do stick the landing at least. I enjoy the conclusion. You don't have to tell me that. We've discussed this. You don't have to tell me that. But anyway, I'm out of here. 2 more streams for this. Every other case is done by this point. And still 2 more for this one. This is the length of the second and the third case combined. What the fuck? Oh my god. Anyway, I'm out of here. Until next time, this is version 2, and most importantly, Victini. Signing out. Bye. Say bye, Victini.